Velvet Underground. And you wonder why people do heroin. That's it right there. Hey, this is the Bennington Show. I'm Ron Bennington. There's Gail Bennington.
Yo.
I am Ron Bennington. Special thank you to our friends Jim and Sam for having me in this morning. I'm doing a little thank you tour.
Making the rounds.
Say thank you to all the people that made Thanksgiving so fantastic. And those two guys they fucking killed it. They killed it.
Yeah.
They took a knife and stabbed the night. This is something very funny about Thanksgiving, and then we'll move into the news of the day. But yesterday, Don Wiki Wicklin was in, and we were just talking about how the whole show went so good.
Yeah.
And the band was great, and he was involved very much in getting that band in from Los Angeles, and they didn't come together as a band. They all came separately.
I know. All their travel was very confusing.
From separate airports, and were leaving different times. And Don just, stayed with it and did it, which is crazy to me, because I would have said, by the way, we can't have the band in from LA. But, and then I said to him, he goes, in that opening, he goes, I didn't know it was Gail back on as little Chris. And I'm like, yeah. And I
forgot that we didn't even tell him about that bit, and he had no idea. He was like, "Who is that?" We never really worked that bit out. We kind of discussed it, but there wasn't a real ending. And then Doc Brown came out. The only probably that didn't hit moment of the night, which made me laugh harder than anything. But and I go. And I was bringing up the dancing, the two guys are hip hop dancers. And I go, that was 700 pounds of beef on that fucking stage. And I go, and then Chris has the tearaway pants, right? And then Don said something to me that I did not even realize. He goes, yeah. And then he stayed on stage in his underwear for that entire segment. And I went, huh, he did. Why didn't we find that to be odd? I don't know. I guess we were all strangely comfortable with Chris in his underpants.
I did a whole long segment with his childhood pictures.
Yeah.
Little Chris came out. I mean, that was a long time.
Yeah.
And I did not find it to be odd. Sometimes things have to be pointed out to you. A lot of stuff going on right now. Tampa caught their serial killer, and we're going to be talking with somebody who has been face to face with that serial killer coming up in a couple of minutes, which is weird, and this is a true story. And then the one-time classiest organization in the NFL's history, the Giants, did something that I had no idea would make me feel so bad.
Yeah.
What they did to Eli Manning, and seeing him holding back tears last night, I was fucking pissed.
It's disgusting what they did, and what Ben McAdoo had the fucking balls to bench Eli Manning.
It's
Eli Manning.
Is he really the problem? Is that really the issue?
No, and they don't have a solution by benching him. I don't think the Giants organization, and I'm going straight to the fucking Mara family at the top of this, understand what it's like to win a Super Bowl for your city, okay? It's a major thing. Joe Namath won one Super Bowl, 1969. He can't walk through the city of New York without people mobbing him. He can't even live in New York because people are still thanking him. Eli Manning. And I am glad that, unlike other people, and I know I bust Eli's balls because it's fun and he's a sweetheart, he did the impossible. He beat the greatest team of my lifetime, the Patriots, and he did it twice.
Yeah.
And people forget, both times we were shocked. I'm watching those games with Giants fans because I'm here in New York, and in the fourth quarter, people were like, we're in this. We're still in this. They're getting stronger. I mean, no one picked the Giants to win that, except for Eastside Dave. Nobody thought the Giants could win this. So, phenomenal.
Yeah, I felt just terrible for and that was the first thing I was thinking is Is it? I don't really know why the blame is being placed there. Like, how is this being received by Giants fans?
You haven't. No, terrible. The Giants fans are reacting, I would say, to a man. Like
every single one, former players coming out and saying, "Can't believe this happened to you, Eli." And he's benched for Geno Smith, a proven loser. He is not
for the Jets.
For the Jets. He is not a good quarterback. They're benching him not even for the fucking next guy coming up. Geno Smith will be gone by next season. Ben McAdoo will be gone by next season.
But why is the Mara family doing this?
I don't know. It makes the fucking put him down in the off season. There's 4 games left in the season? They ain't going to the playoffs.
I know he's not making sense right now, but he is making sense.
I know. I know
he's all upset about it. But what he just said was, you owe it to this gentleman to let him leave with dignity. Here's a Giants season ticket holder. I direct Jenny.
Fucking unbelievable. It is the worst. I literally almost cried myself, like when I saw Eli crying.
I felt worse than I thought I would feel. I was like, "That's the sweetest fucking guy in history."
Simple, sweet man.
And like I said, maybe history will understand. The Giants fans of today, they expect too many good things because the Giants fans are always Yankees fans, and they just always expect the best. What he did is, I put it up there over Joe Namath beating the fucking Colts. I really do. And that was the biggest upset in history. Nobody saw that coming. The Patriots of that year were better than the Colts of that year.
They're agreed upon to be the greatest team of all time. They didn't win the Super Bowl, but as a team, they were the greatest. They were 18-0.
It's just such a disrespect.
From a team,
that's what it seems like more than anything.
Yes, from a team that's known for their class. You know, we're talking about the team of Frank Gifford, Y.A. Tittle. You know what I'm saying?
I want to hear from Mara and Tish, the two jerk-offs who own the team now. Right. What do they say about this? You know, they said that, I guess, McAturd, whatever the fuck you want to call this guy, he's a jerk-off. He's stupid pedophile mustache.
Come on, Johnny. Johnny, here's the important thing. It is their call. You are completely right about that. They could say, dude, you're not doing this. This fucking organization owes this young man. Now, am I worried about his future? No, because his brother Peyton owns a 24-hour garage, and I mean it's fucking top of the line, foreign cars, everything's great. Eli could easily go and manage that. All right.
He's also got all that pizza stuff. He can go run a couple Papa John's if he wants for his brother.
Those things are as good as over. They are done. If you got any fucking stock, Johnny, dump it.
No,
I think it has something
dime
to do
on
with
a dollar, and is the best thing you're going to do it.
Something to do with
I got no
kneeling.
dough in the pizza business. Get it? See what I did there?
I don't understand.
It was bad. Yeah, it's just, supposed to be the classy organization, and to just, there's no way that it's just the least classy thing I've ever seen done to a player who's done so much for a team. 2 MVPs in the Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowl wins, the most improbable Super Bowl win of all time.
He had the right to leave this team like Derek Jeter. He did.
Yep.
Derek Jeter hung around too long. The Yankees are like, okay, no worries.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hang around too long, bro, because we owe you.
You gave us so much.
We owe you. And there's very few teams that you can say they owe somebody. And let me tell you something where people are like, oh, he had 5 years to go before he got the Farbs thing. This kid is never hurt. I don't understand him. He was never hurt.
It's 210 games in the NFL.
You never saw him limping. You never saw him stay down.
And the last 3 seasons, he hasn't had an offensive line. So he's getting hit. Like, he's getting beat up.
He played through a really bad plantar fasciitis injury, and he played through a bad shoulder joint that he got in a game, I think, he played against Green Bay with, a bad shoulder, and that was game, 70. And then from there on, there was, nothing else. It's, 200 and whatever later. It's
no one said he had to stay until he broke the record, but you need to give him to the end of the season. This is an embarrassment.
It is. I'm not going to another game.
You're done?
I'm not. Oh, I'm done.
Good.
I'm done. Absolutely done. I mean, first of all, I wouldn't go see a Giants at 2-9 or whatever they're going to be, I would not go to Giant Stadium against the Cowboys because there's going to be 90% Cowboy fans there, and I can't deal with that. And when your Eagles come to town, it'll be the same exact thing.
Here's the thing. The Giants-Cowboys, always a major game, moved to 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock,
embarrassing.
They flexed it right out of the 4:25 game of the week.
They're making way for a flea market that's going to be there after the game. All right, Johnny.
Later.
I feel for all the Giants fans. It's just a bad thing. All right, I teased this early, as we do in this business. You tease, and you've all been on the edge of your seats. The Tampa serial killer has been found, but a person that we all know has met this serial killer, calling to us right now from Tampa Bay. You're on the air.
Hey, Benny, it's BL. We got the killer. We got him. Ybor City, Florida. We got him.
BL, now you wrote to me today that you knew this guy. Is it true or not?
I sent you an 8:15 a.m. message. That's a bit abusive. Sorry about that, Ron.
So you never met him?
I did meet him. Here's what happened. I was going to a flea market. I go twice a month in Ybor City, Florida. It's kind of like the Soho of New York City.
Not really.
So anyway, I pulled through what rhymes with McDonald's, and they do a 2 for $4 where they give you 2 biscuits, you get the choice of your meat, and the cheese. So I go out like 2 for $4. I pull around. This guy happened to work there. The serial killer that's caught worked at the McDonald's. So all of a sudden, I look at my thing. I go, sir, I apologize, but there's no meat on the biscuits. And he goes, if you don't pull forward, I'm going to put my meat on your biscuits, and you ain't going to like where it came from. And I thought, I'll never forget those lips. They looked just like Vito's. They were kind of crackly, not that Vito does crack, but it's kind of like cracked lips, where you wrap your lips around something. And he did. I stared into the eye of a killer, Benny. I did it. I saw it. I knew he was a bad egg. 2 months ago, I just saw him at the flea market.
Now, you were swearing to this. You swear on your mother's soul.
Absolutely. Yes, because the flea market's next door.
And he threatened to put his meat in your biscuit.
On your biscuit, and you won't like where it came from.
Your dried up old biscuit.
Your unbuttered biscuit.
Ron, 4 families are suffering from this freak. And
look, I'm not keeping him at large. You know what I mean? Like, I've done nothing to assist this man. I just said that you had an old dried up biscuit. Now, BL, why are we getting the real BL voice when we did your show? We were talking to the bloody Queen of England. Have you gone back to being yourself on the air?
I'm just fine. You know what? You taught me radio. Ron.
No, I didn't. Don't blame me. Look, here's the thing. And Vito, I want you to get to the bottom of this. It's been brought up today on the show. Samuel said that we were always known to have the best interns, the best producers. They went on to do great things. So they scooped up Anthony, and they are none too happy with him.
I'm going to step in, and I'm going to try to take Anthony under my wing and show him the way.
I think just the opposite. Distance yourself. Okay. Don't get drugged to the bottom of the pool. This is the next BL. Anthony is the next BL.
Does Anthony want a piece of this?
No.
Because I'm Matt Lauer is that.
No dried up old biscuit for him. I mean, old, dusty biscuit.
Put the meat on the biscuit,
no.
Benny. Put the meat on the biscuit.
No,
yeah,
so
love it.
BL, when the serial killer stuff started happening, did it occur to you that it could be this guy?
No, but I knew any idiot that stays right in the area within a 3-mile radius when you murder 4 people, why did this guy stay there? And the sad part is he was really an intelligent kid. They said that his family was quite nice and had a nice home. It's really sad that this kid went crazy. It takes 2 seconds for you to change, Ron. It takes 1 second to change your life, and that's what happened.
Is this a threat you're doing at me, BL? because you are being recorded right now. Now, yeah, I agree with you. I knew it was going to be a neighborhood person, but the black serial killer is a rarity.
Pretty rare.
Blacks tend to kill for that paper.
Yeah.
Or them rocks. Or a corner.
Yeah, they're not usually just for the love of the game.
That's white people.
Are.
White people kill for not a fucking reason. And that's what I want those North Koreans to understand. We don't even need a fucking reason.
You are so right. And Whitey, we're the ones that, like the Bundy, the crackers were the one. I mean, Bundy was gorgeous driving around in that little VW.
I don't find him to be as attractive as most people do.
I always thought that was strange that people were like, oh, he was the attractive one. But, yeah, I don't really see.
I'm going to ask Vito because he tends to date boys.
Yes, and he knows when a man is attractive.
He's he's got a mysterious look to him, but I mean, he's no Jeffrey Dahmer.
Give him Jeffrey Dahmer's not attractive. The only thing about Jeffrey Dahmer is that he's a giver. You know what I mean? He'll eat you. He'll eat you for hours.
He'll eat your feet. He'll lick your toes.
All right, BL.
Good. He'll like it. He'll love it.
BL, tell everybody when your BL's 1 hour of craziness is.
Come on, man. I didn't call to plug myself.
Plug yourself.
Yeah. Don't be humble.
It's on tantalk1340.com. It's just the BL show. It's just a little show. We talk about life, love, sport.
Now, I was going to be on the air with her on Thanksgiving with a person who's no longer living a public life.
Really?
Yeah, and I said, when he would get there, you had an Uber set up for this person. I said I would be on the air, and it would be, and at the last moment, he did not get in the Uber. And
he
then
declined.
I was going to call on my own, but the dinner bell rang, and I got to have my turkey dinner.
Oh, Benny, you swear your dinner bell rang?
Yes.
Is Gail and the family more important to me than the people in Philly, your parents?
My big joke was this.
Thanksgiving table?
With all the kids going like this. This is my first time eating turkey. I like it. It's like a chicken. You've got the eyes. So Tampa's back off the map now after the serial killer. I was hoping they could keep it going for a while, at least to the end of football season, since the Bucks had nothing.
Right.
I was like, what did they do? Kill their season? And then we all had a big laugh about it.
Yeah, we got sick. You know what? It goes from the map to the metro to Matt Lauer, and I'll tell you, you guys have serious problems with that guy. He's shady. He's creepy. I don't want to talk bad about him because he's in your bottom of your building, or well, he's fired now. But anyway, you guys talk about Matt today? You guys talk about any of that?
Just stop it, BL.
Did you guys have any producers? Jesus.
BL, you are sure that Chris Stanley sold a present, and and Gail, you will back me up. You said that you were going to bring it in this week, and you still have not.
No, I have not. No.
Where is this?
It's at my apartment. Trust me.
This is starting to sound a little shady. I don't want to be a paranoid person.
How many years is this going on, BL?
Well, you and I we had a couple of nice times, me and Ron and
Just
Gail.
tell me how long it's been.
It's been about 3 to 4 years. I have a feeling Stanley paid off a bet before his mom's steam pipe shit came in, and then he had to go pay off the shit, allegedly.
Now, that money came in, right, Chris? Yeah, you settled?
I can't talk about the settlement, all right? I signed a non-disclosure.
It is 7 figures, or is it 8 figures?
I can't reveal how many figures, if anything.
I'll tell you this. If they asked you, do you want 7 or 8? Take the 8. I know it seems like you're not going to need it. You're going to need it. Because you're going to go through that 1-7 fast. I know more than anybody. That 1-7.
And you know what? Yeah. And you know what? Clippity Clop, he wants a piece of this ass. I know the way he looks at me, he gets that. I bring him anti-diarrheal pills every time I come into the Serious X.
Does he?
No, I'm not eating anti-diarrhea pills. I'm very regular.
I believe she said diarrheal.
Diarrheal. That ass diarrheal.
Chris.
What?
Chris had to go rhymes with oop like 7 times. Every time I visited, he like, BL, I really got it.
Didn't Vito try something with you sexually, BL?
No. He did.
I
guess they both want to sleep with BL.
Who wouldn't?
The men's room. He keeps on going down there. Poor little guy.
I am
Podium.
I'm talking with a major network about a reality / game show called Can Your Penis Stay Hard with BL? And we've done this.
I'd love to see this.
Yeah. We're shooting a couple of dark pilots, I call it. And so far, the record is 2 seconds. And that was a guy who didn't see her at first, turned around.
So you come in hard, right?
You come in hard.
It's almost like when the curtain goes up at a striptease on the Deuce, but it's just like they're already set to go, and then she's there.
Here's what happens. There's like you said, there's a curtain. There's a slide board right there on the curtain. They come sliding in, fucking Donald Duck style, shirt on, no pants, hard cock. BL's waiting at the bottom of it, and let's see how long that erection can stand.
I would snap a pencil dick in 2 seconds. If you're not blessed, I'll still snap you in half. You won't even make it to the bottom of the bedpost, Benny.
BL, why don't you talk this way on your radio show? Why do you talk like this?
Terrestrial radio.
So what? There's no reason to talk that way.
You can't talk. You can't say shit. You can't say ass. You can't say murder.
I'm not worried about that. You're using your real voice now, but when you go on there, you learn to walk and talk like a real lady, you do.
Well, maybe I could have married Prince Harry's ass.
All right, stop it. Stop being fucking nuts.
What about me and Prince Harry?
He said that you're Prince Harry back.
Something about anti-diarrheal.
Yeah, you're Prince Harry asshole.
Ron, I'm not going to hold you people's show up, but I will tell you one thing.
Yeah.
If Stanley doesn't get my present to you into that place.
And didn't you say you had sunglasses in there too?
Oh, yeah, my Chanel sunglasses.
Have you seen her Chanel sunglasses?
There should be in the apartment.
She told me the other day her Channel sunglasses are in there. And seriously, I had to go outside and ask people. I guess this
they're high-end.
Was this the trip that Vito tried to sexually assault you?
No, Vito never hurt me. This was Chris. He's had the package. It's a baby blue bag. It says, love to Benny for your birthday. It's December 31st. You're always off. So I gave you an expensive, very expensive present, and I went ahead and just told you what it was, and I had to. Are we allowed to tell listeners what Chris Stanley allegedly stole?
Yeah, go ahead and tell everybody.
Oh, what's this?
So I thanked Benny for having me up on the show 29 times. Okay?
The only person in the business who'll give her any airtime until she bought it herself. I should have let you buy an hour a week from me.
God, I bet you'd probably be cheaper. But anyway, let's move on. So real quick, I bought Benny to thank him. On King of Prussia Mall is in Philly, and
wait, I thought you got this through your man. I thought this was a personal collection.
No, this is.
Oh, this means nothing to me now.
I paid $400 for this.
Why didn't you send me $400?
I would give it to you as a gift. It was your favorite player, Lefty, who signed this jersey at King of Prussia Mall. So I got it, wrapped it up, and thanked Ron with it. And I gave it to your staff, and there was Chris. Took the baby blue bag, and he never gave it to you. It's been 3 years.
So it was a baby blue shirt. It was the old Phillies shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the vintage blue.
What'd you do with the baby blue, Chris?
She's full of shit. Who knows if this thing was even signed by Lefty?
So you're saying you don't even know if it's in your apartment.
It's in my apartment. Okay.
See, he's kind of changing his story. BL, I think that thing is long gone. I think he sold it.
He tried it on and broke it.
Hey,
what did he just say?
Don't fat shame me.
Chris, swear on your steam pop, time pop, poor little mom that.
Don't you bring my mother into this, BL.
Bless her little heart.
You have no right.
Okay, swear on something.
Oh, he's
swear
here.
On anything.
Hey, we got a guest here that's much more important than you. The new movie is called Lady Bird, and Lucas Hedges is in this. And I don't have his IMDb in front of me. I don't know whether you do, Gail, but the last couple of years have been amazing for him.
Yeah, he's done. He was in 3 Billboards, which you saw, but he was great in Manchester by the Sea as well, which is
was such a great performance. I think he was in Grand Budapest.
He was in Grand Budapest Hotel. He was in Moonrise Kingdom. Dan in real life, and he's this young, and he's put together this this kind of career. It's unbelievable. And another one, a big hit. Just the other day, Greta Gerwig won the. It's up on the iBang of which is, but she won the Director of the Year. So there's a lot of Oscar.
That's
buzz.
awesome.
Let's bring in from what perhaps is the best movie of the year, Lady Bird. This is Lucas Hedges. Lucas Hedges is in the studio with us. I was just complaining about this year. And then I saw, as far as movies goes, and then I saw 2 movies back to back that made me feel like the year has been saved, and you're in both of them.
Nice. 3 Billboards and Lady Bird.
Yeah, unbelievable. And we were just talking, for as young as you are, the classic films that you have on your resume. It's pretty unbelievable.
Thank you. Yeah, I am ridiculously lucky to have worked with the people that I've worked with. It's sort of. Yeah, it's been fun.
And also to be a young person and have roles that are so varied.
Yes,
you know,
sure.
Oftentimes when you're young, you're going to get the same type of teenage role over and over. And I feel like you've already had so many different types of roles. It's awesome.
You. Yeah, I feel like I'm a million different people in my own life. Like I will leave Sirius XM to. I mean, I have my like. I'm not like I don't have like multiple personality disorder or anything.
Thank God.
Not crazy. But I have a certain self that I put on when I step into an interview. Like I'm being extra polite. I'm not going to curse or anything.
You
I've
can.
got that.
This is serious.
Oh really?
Yeah, totally can.
Oh okay. Well then I'm going to start cursing like crazy. You're going to see I'm insane. I'm completely insane. And then I'm going to leave today and I'm going to meet up, maybe see some friends, and I'll become a different person. So I mean, I don't know. I think we're all many different people.
It is true. Like you always hear that they'll say about somebody if they got in trouble. Oh, he was living a double life, and I'm like, yeah, but you're not. I even remember being a kid. I was a completely different person at my front door. From my parents, was a completely different kid than when I stepped out with my. And I don't think that either one of them was fake. I just felt like this is the time to be the street kid, and then this is the time to be the son.
You from New York?
I'm from outside of Philadelphia.
Okay, cool.
Where'd you grow up?
I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brooklyn, when you were growing up, I say I'm from Brooklyn, and everyone's like, oh, wow. But it's like I grew up in a very different Brooklyn. I also grew up in the poshest part of Brooklyn in Brooklyn. So. Yeah. You knew you wanted to be an actor since you were a kid?
I knew it was the only thing that ever, I mean, sort of like a typical boy. I mean, the 2 things I was interested in were acting and sports. Mm-hmm. I mean, like watching basketball or baseball, and I had like all these basketball jerseys and even in growing up, it's sort of, I mean, I'm fascinated by history and psychology and by other things, but it's the only thing that will really get me out of bed every day. So it just feels like the only thing I really want to do.
Yeah.
And I guess that started when I was in like 7th grade. I did a play, and a casting director saw me and asked me to audition for Moonrise Kingdom. And
wow,
that's how I got started.
So you didn't even do theater school in New York? No,
I did theater school in North Carolina for a year, which is where my dad went. It was sort of, I never thought it was the only school I applied to. I sort of just wanted to run. I wanted to run away from New York. I was done with New York and wanted to go to the country. So I chose North Carolina, which wasn't even really the country, and then left after a year. Yeah.
But everything feels like the country once you leave.
That's true. Yeah.
New York, it just feels like, oh, so much space here.
Yeah,
there's a place for your car.
I know.
So green. Everything's so green.
New York is crazy. I've been in Atlanta this year, and then just got back from LA, and I was just thrust into the subway system, and it's like, where am I right now?
Yeah,
and I grew up here. It's a bizarre place. It's so cramped.
You know, when I take a vacation from New York, I could be going a week. I come back and I'm like, oh, how do I even keep up with it? It's so damn fast. And we moved here when you were in school still. And I remember when we first moved and we're looking for places, I'd never been that exhausted in my life as when I moved to New York. It was just so difficult. The city can be very, very difficult.
And, spending just a little time, I went to school just outside of the city. So every time I would come home, I would have to readjust to the time and then be like, I'd walk 10 blocks and just be like, I have to sit down. I'm so tired.
Yeah, it's tough.
I can't believe. And then you just get used to it. And then that becomes your pace. And then somebody visits you and you're like, yeah, it's not that exhausting.
It's not that big of a deal. But even leaving New York, every single time I leave New York, I feel like I've gone to a different country. And I could just be upstate half an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is how you live up here. Huh?
Totally.
It's interesting. And the food's free. All food seems cheap once you leave New York. This movie, and I have to tell you, and Gail and I were talking about Lady Bird. When you think of the number of coming-of-age movies that you've ever seen in your life, and yet you still can come at it so fresh and be so caught up in this story. And it's always amazing to me that exact story needs to be retold over and over and over again.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's also it's a coming of age story that it features a girl as a lead, and my brother and my mom went to go see this movie, and my mom could not stop crying after she saw it, and was telling me about how it reminded her of when she was a kid. And it hit me that my mom hasn't seen movies that reflected back to her experience of growing up. And my mom's 60 years old.
Yeah.
And there obviously have been some, but it's just crazy that it's a very important and exciting movie to have been a part of, because it's not a story that's told all the time.
I would agree too that it's not too often that you see a coming of age where you have a female lead and it approaches it the same way you would.
I think that's why it didn't dawn on me.
Yeah.
Because I felt like I know this story. It felt like it could have happened to me, and oddly probably did. You know what I mean? It's that thing of when your hometown, you love it, you want to leave. Your family, you love them, but you want to leave. It's universal.
Totally.
But yes, the old story about a young girl turning into a woman had to do with romance or some kind of fantasy thing.
Not about identity, just the way it is with boys as well. Boys and girls have the same issue of who am I? Where am I from? What does this mean? How does the world perceive me? And then, of course, romance and sex has to do with it because you're a teenager.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's just part of it. But yeah, I thought that Lady Bird was approached the same way that Holden Caulfield was approached, or the way Max Fisher and Rushmore was approached. It was very similar into the idea that she's just struggling with identity.
I also had a thing of, can they hold this together? It seemed like it was such a balancing act right from the beginning. You were like, will I stay with this character? And yeah, you do. Laurie Metcalf is
she's
amazing.
She's one of the great actresses alive.
All time.
Yeah.
And it's so weird that she did that sitcom and people thought that was her for years. But we were just talking about her the other day when she did Horace and Pete for Louis C.K. And she was stunning.
Yeah.
Stunning in that. And then she was just on Broadway. Killed it.
It makes me really happy to see her get roles where she gets to show off
Deserves
how just so phenomenal she is. Yeah.
Yeah, and she also she feels like my mom. That's not my mom,
right?
But she starts opening her mouth, and I become she just is a mom to me. It's in a way that when actresses play moms, it's okay, that's an actress as a mom. But she embodies everything about the mother, what it means to be a mother.
I think the interesting thing too that she captured is that thing where your mother can fight with you and it won't get carried away like the way you do with your dad. When you and your dad fight at some point, it becomes like two dudes. You know what I mean? And when a mother's like, you could say terrible things to each other, and then the next day have breakfast.
Yeah,
you know
there's
what I
like
mean?
a really sweet moment where they're having just like a really heated, angry argument, and then she picks up a dress and she's like, "Oh my god, I love it!" And they both like talk, and you're like, "That is very much a mother-daughter relationship that you don't see very often." Now,
here's the other thing about this, and it's why there's such great acting in Lady Bird. Is 15 minutes are left in the movie, and I say about, and I can't pronounce her name, but the lead actress,
Saoirse, like inertia.
Yeah,
okay. That's what she
I say
says.
to my chick, I go, she's amazing, right? And she goes, "You mean the girl from Brooklyn?" I'm like, "What? That's the same person,
right? Yeah.
I missed it.
It's crazy." And then it's so funny watching her whenever I'm doing like a talk back with her and they're like, "Oh, we loved you so much," and she's like, "Oh yeah, it was so amazing, like doing the movie." That's the worst impersonation ever. But like, it's like this Irish accent comes out of her that's so strong.
It's very strong. Yeah,
it's crazy that she pulled this off. It's yeah.
So you're, like you said, you're getting these roles. You're working with Tracy Letts is in this movie.
Yeah.
There's brilliant people.
Really brilliant.
Throughout this whole... And is this a thing for you where you're like, okay, this is how life is, or does it feel a little stunning to you?
Well, I think since Manchester came out, everything's been surreal and felt sort of like an alternate reality. And there's also something about... There's something about having like peak experiences that are always a little scary because then you're always left to wonder, when is it going to end?
Yeah.
Like, and that's how there's a part of me that feels that way about all this, that it's like, everything is so perfect. Like summer camp, whenever you experience a high, it's like, what's next? What's going to happen next? Unfortunately, I just did a movie, and now I'm about to go do another, and I've been lucky to continue to work, and hopefully we'll continue to work for a while longer. But that's just it's always a part of the equation. Like when is the guy gonna like reveal himself from behind the curtain and just take it all away from me?
And you were just like, before this movie, you were with Frances McDormand, who again. Stunning. Sam Rockwell in that movie.
Sam Rockwell that's one of my favorite performances I've seen in a long time. And Francis, of course, too.
You know why I even love Sam Rockwell is that thing? Because I always love Sam Rockwell, and he started to annoy me, and I wanted to knock him out. And I'm like, you bastard, because I'm buying into the character so much.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean, yeah.
And he is always great. He's always great.
And that's what's great about this year is he's going to get, I hope he gets his moment, because he's one of the most underappreciated actors working. Yeah.
And this is back-to-back films for you, man. It's so great. It's so unbelievable.
Back to back.
Yeah.
No, it's really true. I don't really know how this happened.
Well, you have, and Gail and I talked about, and I don't want to give anything away for the audience, but you have such a heartbreaking scene in this film. And remember what you had said to me, like from him in Manchester?
Yeah, just such polar opposite characters, and I was so incredibly impressed. And, we're talking about how the character of Lady Bird is handled, but, your storyline also is handled, I think, in a unique way that I've never really
very
seen
2002 before. Instead of 1976 or 83 or 58. Like, that scene, it's tough, but you're like, like, you're going to be all right, dude. You know what I mean? Like, I know way society is evolving at this point, and you're going to be, you're going to end up being okay, which, that was the scene that you're in, if this was 1958, he jumps off a bridge. Yeah. You know what I mean? But we know enough, but that's still that moment in a kid's life. You know what I mean? When kids are at that age, you really do have to kind of keep an eye on them, because a kid can fail a test or break up with somebody, and it's gigantic to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what I think was really great about this film is, like, you want to tell them you don't need to be on this edge. I'm older. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the edge is there for everybody at that age. It's tremendous movie. Somebody told me that this was the best reviewed movie.
It's the best reviewed movie of all time on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's unbelievable. And Greta, who we haven't even brought up, I've always been such a fan of her as an actress, but to see her make that transition where she's writing and directing,
very seamless too, like a very much a natural. And I'm sure that also has to do with having such a career already as an actress, and I'm sure that you learn so much about every aspect of it. But it's still impressive. I mean, you see people who are actors who make that transition, and it's not as quick.
And you can also, you hear her voice and everything, so you know that she's that kind of, like when you're watching Tarantino, you know it's Tarantino.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You feel Tarantino even when he's not in the scene. You feel Scorsese. She's picked that up
totally
this early.
She has it's all laced with her essence.
Yes, it is. Which is a very, very unique personality. Lady Bird is it out everywhere now, Chris?
It's playing in theaters now,
it's tremendous. And best of luck to you, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such a pleasure.
Thanks so much.
Anytime you're in New York, come in. You can chill out here, get off the street, get away from all those people. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
I almost don't want to step in on this music. I love John Bryan so much.
He's like a genius.
And again, like, I didn't know coming in that it was John Bryan doing this. And the second you start to hear it, that's him.
He has such a specific flow to his music.
Yeah. I love that kid, huh?
I know, Lucas Hedges. I'm gonna adore him forever now. Like,
dude. Well, I wish this would have happened on the air, but he goes, I'm going to do a movie with my dad. How does this work with you two guys? Do you? And we were just saying, it's our personality. And he goes like this. Now, do you call him Dad here, or do you call him Ron? How does that? And she goes, no, I call him Ron when I'm here. And she goes like this. He goes, okay, thank you. I'm going to do that.
He said, yeah, I'm going to keep that with me. I think I'm going to do that. He thinks he's maybe going to call his dad by his real name when he's acting with him.
Is he acting with his dad or directing?
I don't know. He said he was going to do a project with him. I'm not sure.
Let's look into see his Wikipedia. But this movie, I don't know. Is it just every once in a while you get that small movie, and she's Greta Gerwig's so strange, and she's beautiful, but she never plays to the beautiful part.
Yeah,
and she came in here. What was the movie she shot in black and white?
Frances Ha.
Okay, so it's a strange Brooklyn, but it's her. So she comes in, and I expected her to kind of be that flaky, fun girl. But she's very statuesque, and she's very smart. She was serious. And I'm like, oh, man. So I really thought, I don't know whether she invented that character or she's just in a serious place that day. So what's the story with him and his dad?
All right, so the movie's going to be Ben is back, and his dad's written and directing it.
What else has his dad done?
His dad's also done... He wrote Dan in Real Life.
Oh, yeah, good movie, too.
He wrote About a Boy.
I watch About a Boy constantly.
Wow, really?
It's based on that. Who wrote the book? It's the same guy who did High Fidelity.
It's a British guy.
Nick Hornby.
Yeah, Nick Hornby, who is one of my. Hey, I'm going on vacation. I'll take a Nick Hornby book with me.
And he wrote What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Wow!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
Holy shit!
Vito, why can't I have this prep before he comes in?
Dude, that's crazy.
Wow.
He wrote that, not directed it.
He wrote the novel, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, that was turned into a screenplay. And he wrote the screenplay for it as well.
That is so crazy.
I feel like a shit dad now.
It's really weird because I was kind of thinking about that because I was thinking about young people with just phenomenal performances that you can't believe a young person could pull this off. And I was thinking of him. I was thinking of Lucas Hedges and like just what he's done so far. And I was thinking of Leonardo DiCaprio in that role as like, I'd put him in that category.
Unbelievable.
Of how the hell can you be that age, like a teenager, and pull off a role like that? It's just
I'm going to say something
shocking.
About Leonardo DiCaprio. I thought he was even better. And I know a thing or two about a thing or two. Where he and fucking De Niro are going scene to scene. Slugging it out.
I know.
And that kid was fucking great.
It was so good in that. Does this peanut butter look empty to you?
A little bit. A little bit in there. And the turkey shoot. That movie fucking broke my heart.
Yeah.
This kid broke my heart in this last thing. It was such a sweet fucking little scene.
And you know, for me, it was like a really surreal thing to watch because the time period, I was the same age as Lady Bird. So it was very weird to watch something. And I'm sure just like anyone, if you're watching a movie depict the exact time that you were in high school, I'm sure you're going, come on, that's not so realistic, or they get the music or the clothes wrong. And I just felt like everything felt so real. It was very...
I have a movie like that, Dazed and Confused.
Where you felt like they
got everything right, except for in my town we didn't paddle. And I'm like, if somebody would have hit you with a board where I grew up, this isn't over. You know what I mean? That would have been the fuck. You weren't throwing paint on them.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're coming back with your cousins. But Bri told me that was like that in his town.
Wow.
That the fucking, when you started high school, the older kids paddled you. It was part of their scene.
Crazy.
And I was like, I think in Virginia, where he was. And that's the only person that ever told me that before. I couldn't fucking believe it.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I can't imagine.
But other than that, the music, the clothing,
everything,
the feel,
the way the girls
they were talking,
dressed, the way the fucking the girls were a little bit smarter than the boys. You know what I mean? Always had that feeling of which there's something, I don't know what age, but the girls are about a half a step above. That's why boys tend to date younger, because the girls their own age, they're just like, what do you mean?
Yeah. I also had someone say that to me about Donnie Darko, which takes place in late 80s, I guess it is, mid to late 80s.
Yeah, because of the song, right?
And this person was that same age and in Catholic school and was like, this is really surreal. Like, it just felt like it was kind of ripped out of his high school life.
I love when a movie can capture like that time period when you're just like, oh man, I thought that Almost Famous is one of the reasons why my favorite movie is it fucking feels exactly like 73. It doesn't feel like 76. It doesn't feel like 69. It feels like 73. And that's because but that was Cameron's year.
That's the thing,
was
that's
his Lady Bird year.
So specific too, like 2002, like that's so specific,
right?
But because you're just like a year out of 2002, 2003, just after 9/11, it's a very specific feeling. I think it felt very, it did feel like this is a different kind of time from a couple years before that. There was a before and after.
And I saw a thing where people in Sacramento were happy with this. I read this thing that people in Sacramento was like, oh, they shot the cool things in Sacramento, because I don't know that town. But when she was saying it might be easier to go to school in New York City because people didn't want to go after, they didn't want to send their kids after 9/11, which is something that never occurred to me. I should have tried to get everybody into Columbia that I know.
Right. Well, both me and my boyfriend, obviously, I moved here when I was young. My boyfriend moved to New York when he was in college. And we were saying, like, we think it's kind of a weird thing when you're like, you moved to New York just after that? Like, when people say, like, yeah, I moved here in 2003. And you're like, really?
We moved here, a year or so before.
Yeah.
And really felt so connected to the, you know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine. What if we only lived here for 6 weeks?
I know.
That happened?
I know. That would be so strange.
And I remember, like, everybody in both sides of her family were like, are you leaving?
Oh, yeah. People wanted to know if we were moving.
Yeah. People were like, are they still going to do radio there? No, they haven't abandoned the city. And no, we don't sit around being afraid every day. But you have other things to be afraid of. There's other people that are worse than the terrorists that you could run into at any given time. Anyway, I really like that kid. I really like the movie Lady Bird. I really like Greta Gerwig, too.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
And also, the other movie to go see, and we had a call about this yesterday, is this 3 Billboards. I refuse to learn the whole title, but it's 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. It's really fucking strong. Really strong.
I'm going to try to see that one this weekend.
What? Hold on, I got another. All right, you're not going to. So, this is breaking news. Allegations against another white male. Iconic. I'm not getting the actual details here, but he is fired. And I don't know what he's fired from. NPR?
What?
Fired for sexual misconduct. Minnesota Public Radio. Garrison Keillor.
Holy shit. Oh my God.
Garrison Keillor.
Wow.
God damn.
That's crazy.
I know. Everybody in corporate America could be fired, and none of the fucking government people. They're just muddling through.
Yeah.
No one's
But the second somebody says something about you in regular fucking radio, regular TV, it looks like mainly show business right now. Do you think you'd be seeing a lot more CEOs of oil companies?
Yeah.
You know? What about Walmart? There's no sexual...
They don't employ women at the top, so they probably...
I think that this could end up, and I was saying this on Sam and Jim today, it could get to the point, I'm sorry, we can't have you in there near our stars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this might be going just the exact opposite. Or give hold of the fucking show. Don't try to find another guy and have the fake, oh, look, they're like a fake married couple.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work that way. All right, we do have to break. Let me just say this. With Christmas just around the corner, now is the time to order holiday cards for family and friends. Only this year. Why not celebrate custom holiday photo cards quickly, easily, and affordably at simplytoimpress.com. Simplytoimpress.com is your holiday photo card headquarters with thousands of unique Christmas cards and other designs to choose from.
All you do is upload your family photos, personalize the text, and you're done. Simplytoimpress.com prints your cards on your choice of premium cardstock in just a few days and rushes them straight to your door. Maybe that's why year after year, so many people call Simply to Impress their favorite photo card service. They even offer foil cards and hundreds of great holiday card designs for your business too.
Place your order today to serve 30% and get free shipping. Just enter promo code RADIO at checkout. Save big on holiday photo cards today using promo code RADIO at simplytoimpress.com. That's simplytoimpress.com.
Headphones, Jen's got the news. Let's dish to the gossip they're saying on the radio.
Yeah, that is. Time to dish.
Ow!
The Let's Dish segment is brought to you by Dish. Dish listens when no one else does. Dish tuned into you. To learn more and sign up today, call 1-844-CALL-DISH, go to dish.com, or visit a local retailer near you.
Now, Chris, we've had some great comedians do Dish with us lately, right?
Yes, we have.
Who have we had?
We've had Robert Kelly.
Great.
We've had Bonnie McFarlane.
Mm-hmm.
And now,
yes,
we have Mr. Ian Fidance.
Oh, shit! The guy who tore the roof off the Hard Rock on Thanksgiving. The guy who I couldn't really follow doing my own hour at the stand.
Get out of
chanting his name.
Oh my goodness!
Now,
Thank
are
you
much of a gossip, Ian? Do you gossip a little bit?
I mean, it all depends about what. Mm-hmm. Usually, I just annoy people with the news and just yell my opinions about that. But I try not to have like negativity. But it's kind of hard not to.
Let's see if you can bring in some positive gossip. All right, give us the first story Jen, what do you have?
So this one, everyone's been talking about all morning with Matt Lauer being fired from NBC for sexual misconduct. Well, now an old interview with Katie Couric is circulating from her back in 2012 when she was on Watch What Happens Live, and she was asked what Matt's annoying habit was, and she said that it was when he pinches her on the ass a lot.
You know, in his defense, I would too if I was hanging out with her. She's adorable. Yeah. And it isn't even so much on the ass, but he's not even just kind of trying to slide in and out.
Yeah, that little ledge.
Yes,
you know,
he went up the ledge.
Yeah.
So we should have saw this coming.
Yeah. Yeah, oh, what? You can't take a compliment?
Right. Good show you did.
Yeah.
Good news show.
Hey, you keep it up, you'll get another pinch.
Garrison Keillor just came up. They just fired him a minute ago. Garrison fucking Keillor.
God, who is that?
Yeah. He is like Woebegone. He's an old school writer and storyteller. I guess you could call it stand up in some
What did he
weird
do?
way. Sexual harassment. So all sexual harassment.
Ooh, juicy. Wow.
Juicy.
Yeah.
It's a nice, juicy,
delicious dish.
But that one shocked me. Like this morning, Matt Lauer, I was like, I don't know why I didn't just I wasn't that shocked. I was like, it is pretty big.
I dislike Matt Lauer.
I think I do too. And look, it's really weird. And I would have put him at one of those celebrity things where it's like, I don't know why I dislike this person, but I do. That's how I've always felt.
You know what I'm saying?
Reasons.
Now you can.
You know what I'm saying? The vultures are circling. Wow.
Oh, this kitten has claws.
You guys
got the
sound
hot
like
goss.
Where did it drop? Stash. Oh, Vito, you don't even know how to fucking produce. Look,
he can't hear us.
He's just turned his back on the show.
What
He's
is he
not even
doing?
doing anything.
Vito, how dare you?
What are you doing, dude?
What happened to Vito?
What are you doing over there?
What are you doing?
I had to check something on the computer really quickly.
Check something on the computer.
Oh,
Supposed
my
to
God.
Your Facebook?
Al Roker just got fired.
Oh, God. Al Roker got fired because people keep pitching him.
Yeah.
They become the Black Pillsbury Doughboy.
Dish it!
Al Roker was so mad at me one time that he ran out of this building and jumped in the elevator, and the salesperson was following him all the way down, going, I don't know what happened, blah, 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 because I put him on the phone with Jim Norton.
No.
Really?
Yeah. And Jim had written some book about people I hate, and I thought it would be funny to put the two of them together and work it out. I was actually on 57th Street at the time, so I had him on a different line, and this is when when XM and Sirius got together, and then they came back and go, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't get any guests. And I go like this. What do I give a fuck about a guest? I don't need you to book me. I go, I've been doing this my whole life without you booking me. Now I'm dependent on you?
Oh, no,
And then
no,
it
we're
all
Al
dropped.
Roker.
But my initial thing was, and the only reason why I took Al Roker was like, hey, wouldn't it be fun to put him on with Norton? Norton just wrote a book saying that he hates him.
Was this Fat Roker or Skinny Roker?
You know, it's a great question. I think that he had gotten thin and bounced up a little bit.
Yeah. Still battling the weight.
I saw. Yeah, it's a lifetime battle. We all know that.
Yeah.
We all have our own battle there.
Well, there's a video up on the iBang.
I want to see it.
with a Cardi B, and
Cardi B?
Cardi B,
Love.
Oh, my God.
What's the story with Cardi B? She had the big
She's
hit single, right?
Bodak Yellow.
Yes, and
How's it
she's
go?
been nominated for Best Rap Single for Bodak Yellow.
I don't fuck
for the
with you.
Grammys.
If I see you in the streets and I don't talk to you, then I don't fuck with you. Right?
Sounds like a great song.
Yeah.
All right, now here it looks like she's lifting her bra.
Oh, you can see her boobs.
Wow, tits are out.
Titties are out.
Damn, Cardi! Cardi is crazy.
Yeah, she doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, she does. Well, if those are my tits, I'd have them out too, though. That's a very... Are you trying to videotape that?
Well, I need to save it for later.
Go on the antenna back.
I don't get service on the train.
I don't want to dump my head in this. It's just me talking away while Cardi B's tits are bouncing.
These are great.
Yeah. Now, where is she at doing this?
It's
the
a
Cub Scout meeting?
PTA meeting. She was. She used to be a stripper.
Yeah, she was.
All right.
Former
No,
stripper.
I can see why.
But
she's got the talent for it.
She didn't want to leave the game behind, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what? You might be done with the past, but the past ain't done with you.
Yeah.
I learned that from
I thought now she don't gotta dance. She make money moves.
What's that?
I got such a crush on her.
Really?
My ideal gal would be trans Cardi B.
So you want her with a penis?
I mean, in a perfect world.
Okay, yes, in a perfect world. Let's say that you could have any wish. That would be it.
Yeah. Yep.
That is we keep playing that. Let me hear her song a little bit, though, so maybe I can.
Oh, it's so catchy.
relate.
So good.
Yeah.
so catchy.
I wonder if she
there
can
was like a
follow
video
it up with something.
She's done.
Yeah, right? I know.
There was a video of the Eagles after their game all dancing to this and singing along to it still.
Now, by the way, why aren't we firing her for having her tits out? How's that different than your dick is out? Oh, I'm so hurt. I saw her tits.
I've been assaulted.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris, do an experiment.
Yeah.
These expensive, these is red bottoms, these is bloody shoes. Hit the school, I can get them both. I don't want to choose.
Oh, you guys showed me her before.
Wait till the beat drops.
Yeah. I don't know if I have that kind of time.
I make money moves. Say I don't gotta dance, I make money moves. If I see you now speak, that means I don't fuck with you. I'm a boss, you a worker.
Here it comes.
Bitch, I make bloody
Party,
moves.
let's hear it. She's whatever you want her to be. She's like Gozer.
Jen, why are you laughing so hard at these white people enjoying it?
It's a good song.
Ian's dancing so funny.
He bought me and a new whip. When I go back to the horse, I got the trunk.
Oh, by the way, we heard a little bit of dish about Ian yesterday. A certain comedian gathering of Thanksgiving that at picture time turned a little nasty with you.
What?
And another person.
What happened?
No, so what exactly did we hear yesterday?
I don't remember. It was like,
what did Dave told us that
Dave
you
said that
you and somebody else had a...
He's like, get off me. And then you guys took a picture, but you were happy again.
That never happened?
Huh?
Dave Temple?
What?
He doesn't even know Dave Temple.
He said you were at Carmine's.
Oh, at Carmine.
Yes.
Oh. No, we all had dinner.
But didn't you have a little uncomfortable moment with somebody?
No. Oh. I think Reggie was. I always try to hug Reggie, and he always tells me to get off of him. And I like being like a little nudge to him. And there's a picture where you could just see the disgust on his face, and it's amazing. I posted it, and then in each subsequent shot, it was just a closer image of his face. And,
your shit is fucking hilarious too. All the shit that you post is funny.
Ah, thanks, man.
So, Carla, what's her ethnic background? Because I don't get the Egyptian gimmick.
She's Trinidadian. Yeah, that's why I love her.
Like you?
Yeah.
Isn't she Puerto Rican too?
And Dominican.
Oh, Dominican.
Yeah, half and half.
She puts these videos out where she speaks some form of English that is.
She's so funny. Like it's
She
crazy.
claims she's from the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
She's
We don't believe her?
gorgeous. But how's she going to follow that song up? This is like
that
the most
she's
popular
done.
song
Yeah.
in the world right now.
I mean, I've heard some other songs. They're good, but I mean, that's
Right.
ridiculous. That song's
Right.
ridiculous.
That's an
Yeah.
anthem.
That's a banger.
Look, I saw this happen many years ago with a little song called Love Will Keep Us Together. Captain and Tennille, they hit the heights, and that was it. They were good. Yes, there'll be a Muskrat Love somewhere, but no.
That was
not
my
enough.
Cardi B.
There'll be a Do It To Me One More Time, sure. But nothing will get back to the Love Will Keep Us Together. Mark my words, Vito. Mark my goddamn words. Me make money moves.
She made that burger look sexy.
She did.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you know what?
She's sexy.
Yeah.
The Mideast was always sexy to us before 9/11. People were always like, "Oh, he's a chic, she's a
Right.
dancing." You know, we
Harems.
love them, and now
Yeah.
we're just like, "Nah, not so much
Scared.
anymore."
Yeah.
You know, they too blow uppy.
Yeah. Guilty boners.
Guilty boner.
Yeah.
Let's dish.
So, Caitlyn Jenner, she's on the outs with the whole family because she wrote a book.
But Bruce is back.
So they're saying that she's trying to make amends with them. She showed up at Kim's house at her gate, and they wouldn't let her in. They turned her away.
Wow.
She's on the show.
Not anymore.
You can't
They
keep
exed
somebody
her
off
out.
the show. That
She's
family.
completely off the Kardashian
She's
show.
out.
eating its
All
own
right, wait,
tail.
which one is she?
Caitlyn?
Yeah.
Or
The hot one.
No, is she
She's
the
the-
supermodel?
yes. Well, no. Caitlyn is the
Caitlin's
Bruce.
mom.
Caitlin's Bruce.
Caitlin's the mom dad.
Oh wait,
Mom-
I thought
yeah.
Caitlyn was a child.
No.
No.
So
that's
they don't want Caitlyn in.
No, Caitlin's out.
Caitlyn
I
Jenner's
don't
out.
blame them. I
Caitlyn
don't
was
blame them.
Bruce. And now
Bruce
she's
was
Caitlyn.
an asshole, and Caitlyn is an asshole.
Yeah.
And that's not being anti-trans.
That's being pro-trans. Because
Yes.
that means I see you for exactly what you
She
are.
needs asshole
A jerk.
reconstructive surgery.
Yes, she was a dick back in when she won the gold medal.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because everyone's like, yes, queen, trans bitch, what's up? And she's a fucking Republican.
Yeah.
I know.
And they're like, wait, no, trans can't be Republican. Head explode.
Oh, look at Hoda. She feels so bad. Hoda, don't worry, darling. You're gonna get. She's walking by us right now, and she looked. I never see her looking sad. She's always happy.
She needs a hug.
Can I tell you? Don't chew. Don't chew.
Can you imagine?
Hey, where's my hug? Hoda. Let me hold on to this.
Baby, hold up.
No shit.
What's up, you Dr. Good Pepper?
The hell was that? You gotta have timing with this, okay? 1 minute you got your fucking headphones off, you're staring away from the show. I've never seen a producer do that.
And then,
What were you
and then we
looking for
were
on the
like talking
computer?
to
I had to cut something, so I was just turned to the computer for 1 second.
Next time you do that, cut your wrists. Because seriously, I could get Anthony in here in a second on a fucking
He's
trade
good.
and probably even make some extra money because they don't want it.
Down the river, not across the street.
Ah,
When you cut your wrist.
down the river, not across the street. I remember that.
So
when
helpful.
I'm killing myself. So Caitlyn is out with the family, even her biological daughters.
Yes, Kendall on the show because I watched the Kardashians, and Kendall was telling Chris, the mom, how she was really upset how she bashed the Kardashians after she's
Kardashians.
Oh, hey now, let's dish.
Dish it.
Dish, bitch.
Dish it!
That's Bobby Kelly doing that. So.
That's great.
But yeah, she wrote a book and she basically bashed the Kardashians, saying that Chris knew the whole time that she was into men or women, wanted to be a cross dresser.
Yeah, I'm not sure that she was ever into men, even now.
Yeah, but didn't she say she was open to it now? Dating men?
Yeah, but
That's
I
why
never
she ran
see her.
so fast. She was running from her pants.
Yeah. Now you like trans, right? But
Yes.
would you like a man that turned into a woman? Would that work for you?
That's what I like.
Oh, I thought
like
you like
when the
when a
man-
woman went into a man.
No, that would be a trans man.
No.
That would be
Okay,
like,
yeah, all right.
that would
Yeah, I
be
fucked up. I
like,
fucked
Yeah.
up.
When I ride
You know
Trans
what?
Am Airlines, I gotta have luggage.
Hey, Vito, now you're cutting stuff out. Cut that out. That's so crazy. 'Cause
Dad, why don't you understand trans?
I'll tell you why I don't understand. I was on Jim's show today at 8 o'clock in the morning. Right now, I'm dizzy. Dizzy with talking about news and what's going on.
You're so old fashioned. We're all pansexuals now, God damn it.
Yes.
You're right.
I think she's she was a man, transitioned into a woman, but she's still attracted to women. So I think she's a trans lesbian.
Yes, but didn't she not too long ago say she's open to the idea now
Is
of
she
dating
gonna
men?
have the vaginoplasty or the phalloplasty?
did.
She did.
She has a vagina now.
She has a vagina.
In January.
Or did she didn't just get her testicles taken off? Oh my God.
I had the whole fucking kit and caboodle. They slice it, push it in.
God.
Slice it down the middle, push it in.
I read this thing that said in England, a university was doing a study because more and more people are regretting their sexual reassignment surgery. So they're transitioning to women and then deciding they regret it and trying to get their penis back. And they tried to do a study, and the university canceled it because they said it was transphobic.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I say?
I say send them to war.
6 inches forward and 5 inches back. I got an angry inch. That might be the perfect movie for you, Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Yeah?
So good.
Perfect musical for you.
I've never seen it.
I know. You know
to.
why? It never showed in Delaware.
Yeah.
They never
They banned it.
showed it anywhere in Delaware.
I know, that's why I got out. So I could find Hedwig.
What town did you grow up in Delaware?
Wilmington.
And did you go down to the Delaware Shore? Were you a Rehoboth guy?
Oh, every year.
Yeah.
That was like the thing. Every year we'd go for a week.
I try to tell people around here that the Delaware Shore is great, and they will not believe me.
Oh, it's the best.
It's fucking great.
It's really
the
pretty.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah, Funland. Funland every
enjoy
year.
yourself.
Oh my God.
You know what? I mean, I don't even go down to Ocean City. Why bother? I got everything I need in Rehoboth and Dewey Beach. I'll go to the fucking Bottle and Cork and have a goddamn hell of a time.
Oh, I got kicked out of there a couple times.
Well, did you go around to the Rusty Rudder where you'd find it a little more to your liking?
I lost my credit card there after I got kicked out of Bottle and Cork.
Dish
Lash. Well, speaking of Kardashians,
we were?
Kardashian Jenners. Kendall Jenner is now the highest paid model. She beat out Giselle, which Giselle's been on top for years.
Wow. Wait, hold on. She's more highly paid than Giselle?
Yes.
That's shocking.
She's the biggest. And my friend Mike Kaka, who has a background in the fashion industry, tried to tell me that she would never be considered a real model.
Kendall?
How dare
you? They call her an Insta model.
Because she didn't go through the things. But she's on Italian Vogue, French Vogue, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All the things that you achieve as a model, she's already done it. And the highest bid. This is the first time that somebody else had been in the number one position.
Yeah,
in like 13, 14 years.
Yeah. Giselle's been number one for,
You know what's funny though? I can never. She got complacent. You know why? She was deflating the fucking
footballs.
Too busy.
Yeah.
But I never recognized Giselle.
No,
Really?
she kind of flies under the radar.
Yeah. I mean, when somebody go, well, she's with Tom Brady, I'll know her. But if I'm looking at a magazine and she's in it, I don't know it.
Really?
Yeah,
Do you think because she's got just like that standard beauty thing going about her?
Yes, models look like models most of the time to me.
Yeah.
Like, I think that they're all gorgeous, but I don't know who's good and who's bad at modeling. I can't tell that. You know what I mean?
My all-time favorites were Brooklyn Decker and Cindy Crawford.
All right, so both of them. Well, Brooklyn definitely I consider more of a swimsuit model.
Yes.
And I'm more of a fan of swimsuit models than I am those tall,
Right.
thin.
Well, because they're more,
yes.
they tend to be curvier and more feminine.
Right.
Swimsuit models are supposed to have curves. Runway models are supposed to just like wear clothes well, which means just like thin and straight
I don't like
lined.
that.
And, yeah.
Yeah. But when you see them, you're like, oh my God, yeah, she is stunning.
Yeah.
She's 6'3". You know what I mean?
Right.
I know, I need a ladder.
Yeah. I'd feel intimidated saying anything to her. She's 6'3" and she's 14. You know what I mean? So they're like kind of like, yeah, model.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew Kendall. I mean, that fucking Kardashian family. Nothing is supposed to last this long.
No, they're like our
last.
royal family.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Yeah.
And she was supposed to be on that show, right, with Paris Hilton years ago, right? She didn't make the show.
Oh,
She was going to get it instead of Lionel Richie's daughter. Am I right?
Surreal
about that?
Life?
Yeah,
Is that what
Surreal
it's-
Life.
yeah.
Simple Life.
Simple
yeah.
Life, yes.
And
the beginning
now-
of the dumbing down of America.
And now nobody, Paris could walk down the street. Probably people wouldn't stop her now,
Yeah.
But this fucking Kardashians, they just go on and on.
Have you ever seen the before and after pictures of Kylie Jenner?
No.
Yeah,
No,
it's
this is all new to me.
Is insane.
She got the lip injection, so
And every other injection.
I mean, it is crazy.
Yeah, show that first picture.
All right, so Kylie is the
youngest.
That's the same one.
Now that's the one that you like, Chris.
Yeah, she's the one that looks like kind of like a sex robot.
But she's not the. Oh my god! Was that a compliment?
I'm not
Did you
sure.
just give it a compliment? But yeah, now that you look at it, that's a sex robot.
Yeah.
Now she's not the model, right?
No.
She's getting zero money modeling. And how much is her sister getting?
Her sister gets $22 million.
So
This
she's
past year
like,
is what she made.
but like that one is Kylie's like has makeup line and
Makeup.
she's
Huge makeup line.
Instagram famous, so
Yeah.
people pay her money to
Yeah, but I
put
think
things.
the most of her money comes from the makeup, I think.
yeah,
Am I right,
Kylie
Jen?
Cosmetics.
This is
$1
what
billion.
Kylie Jenner said, and she just released this today. She said, "Whenever I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you."
That's not even the same human.
That's crazy.
Here's Christina wants to help us out. Christina, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. How about y'all?
Good. Now, you said that you are an expert in transgender.
Well, as far as being one, yes.
Now, this, I just got to, we have a very, very funny man in finance, but this is your thing. This is what you like in life, right? Transgender.
Yeah. Well, I like it all.
You like it all, but this is your
Yeah,
personal favorite. Now, I'll ask you this, Christina. Is that like a compliment or insult to you?
Well, there are two different types.
Okay.
There are the chasers, whom are doing it for, like, bragging rights, and others who are genuinely liking transgenders. I believe he is in that latter category.
Now, I never heard of this tracers, but the
They're
chasers,
gross.
they just want to get an another box, check in the box, as they say.
Well, they like fetishize them.
Yeah, I say, and you don't.
No, I've dated trans women.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy. They're women. I enjoy
Right.
their company.
But
You know.
why? But what is? By the way, what is wrong with fetishizing anybody? You know, it seems nice. You know what I mean?
This is what I want.
Like,
This is what I like.
when I see Chris's thick hair,
Yeah.
what woman wouldn't want that?
Right. Or man.
gorgeous.
But if you only wanted him for his hair and you didn't care about, all his other things
Oh, I
that are
don't.
good.
Right, but what's the
Everything
difference
else is
between a
bad.
fetish and a type?
That's
I'm
true.
wondering.
Yeah.
Christine, do you have any input?
By the way, it's Christina with an A.
Oh, I apologize, Christina.
Not a problem.
The A stands for angelic.
When it comes to a straight man dating a trans woman,
Yeah.
most people will automatically assume that person's gay when in fact they're not. Because we have basically, like, I'll speak for myself specifically. I've always been a woman, but my body didn't know it. So growing up, I was born with a male body and assigned male at birth, but my brain has always been female.
First memory.
I've learned how to be a man, but that was repressing my feminine side. And it can happen to anybody. I mean, if I took either by a magic wand or by surgery, if I switched any one of you guys' brains with the opposite sex, would you consider yourself male or female in a female body or in a male body, just opposite of what you are?
You know, it's kind of interesting, but I never even sit around thinking myself as male. I mean,
Right.
it's just like I've considered myself Ron.
Right.
But I don't even think like, oh, I'm a
But
male.
maybe that's because you're male. I don't know, because I feel very much female. Like, I'm very aware of being a woman all
Right.
the time.
And
I
also
feel
you
like
get
a
a
woman.
reminder every month.
Right. Oh, there it is. Oh, right.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Well, that's with all respect and just curiosity, I always, because everyone's different. Some of my friends have told me that they recognize that they were a boy, and so sometimes they have to let that part of their personality out. So they'll involve themselves in male activities to kind of satiate that part of them, and they can recognize that they, yes, identify with being a woman, but they can never know what it's like to have a period. They can never know what it's like to, go through artificially through hormones and everything, but through the process of womanhood, puberty. And some recognize that and some don't. And I just think that's an interesting aspect.
Actually, with the way science is progressing, I'd say within 10 to 15 years, a trans woman or a trans man could have everything they need to be 100% physically male.
Interesting.
Or women would be able to go through puberty as we go through puberty as it is with hormones.
Mm-hmm.
We experience the mood swings just like a woman does. We just don't experience our monthly period.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have kind of an emotional period every month. But it won't be too much longer before you'll be able to take the DNA from somebody, go back into, find the reproductive system in your DNA and actually clone it for yourself so you don't actually reject.
But I mean, what are we
not
doing
that
here?
far away.
But would you say that, you and I are both women, but we both are perceived and have had different experiences in the way that I couldn't say, oh, I definitely know what it's like to be Christina, because obviously you are a trans woman.
Of course. And I couldn't say how it is to be you growing up and being you on a daily basis. Although our experiences, generally speaking, are very close. As soon as I transitioned back in 2015,
now,
45 years, I was a man. Now I'm a woman.
Yeah.
And that's the way everyone perceives me.
Now, Christina, what is your type? What are you attracted to?
I'm attracted to funny, handsome men, but they don't have to be handsome. They have to be nice, kind. I'm actually looking for
You're describing
a
Ian right
sugar
now.
daddy, too.
Sugar daddy, you're looking down the wrong street, baby.
You're so close, Ian.
You're about 2-3 days away, years away.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's going to happen for you. I have a gigantic feeling. If I didn't believe it, you wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah, thanks.
And then, but I'll say this.
Can I put you on layaway?
Look him up on his Instagram. He's got a great look about him, Christina. Make sure you check him out. How do they find you? Yeah,
I could tell you what my email address or what my Facebook name is.
Yeah.
If you bleep my last name, and you can take a look at my Facebook profile and see what he thinks.
All right, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to put you on hold, and you can give it to Vito. I don't know. He can't hear me now, so
We definitely don't have the technology
But
to.
Chris, would you say that you have a type?
I don't know if I have things that I find attractive, like tattoos and like piercings and shit like that, but I don't know if I have a type.
I have a 100% type, right down to the fact that I fetishize it. It's, yeah. It's Trinidad, Tobago. It's a little island.
They've got to have blood issues.
Yeah. I only like 1/3 of that. 1/3 European Caucasian. It's hard to find. But when I do, I don't let go.
I can honestly say I do not have a type. If you were to line up like the people that I have had relationships with in my life,
it looks like a Jackson Pollock painting.
I mean, it's bizarre.
Yeah,
mine has always been what I would call willing.
Mm-hmm.
Willing. That excites me.
That makes you so different than the other men in the news these days.
Well,
the willing part.
Yeah, the willing part. Yeah, because I need to feel attractive.
Yes.
Dish.
Dish it.
Dish it.
So Prince Harry and Meghan Markle from Suits have made their first public appearance on
Wait,
Monday.
what's Suits? That's a TV show?
That's a TV show,
I didn't know
on
this.
USA. It's so good.
she's an actress.
I'm from the USA. I should have seen it.
So they're going to get married.
An American is marrying a prince?
What's the world coming to?
I know.
Here's the crazy thing. Everybody is so, all the headlines were like, can you believe this? An American is going to be in the royal family. But the other thing is she's mixed race, which is crazy.
I didn't even know this.
Yes,
Well, I'm glad that's taken a second seat to the other.
I know,
It's
but
amazing,
but
right?
But it is crazy to think that, like, just a generation before, they were like Princess Diana. They were like a pauper. You know what I mean? Like,
right?
And meanwhile,
that's a good point.
she was white and blonde and from a wealthy
And rich,
family and
the
British
great schools.
The world's
so
ending.
this is like could not be more different.
Races are mixing. What are we doing here?
Ian's
Dogs and cats living together.
Ian's racist. Dish it.
Oh, you bastard.
Did you notice that she's actually making the Vulcan sign as she's going? Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh my
Conspiracy.
I did not know, and even looking at her, I wouldn't have said mixed race.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah. Her mom is black and her dad is white.
Yeah.
But also,
I'll say this: her mom's not very black.
Her mom's pretty black.
Her mom is black.
I had to make sure it was a real mom. Then.
I didn't even. Yeah, that's such an interesting point. They hated Diana.
Hated her.
Yeah.
Hated her.
Yeah. And now they just like, I guess.
That's
they
her in the
don't
black
give a
coat there.
Yeah.
Fuck. Or they do and they can't say it publicly.
Yeah, you're right. Oh, well, she looks blacker here when she's not with the.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
She is just gorgeous.
She's so beautiful.
Well, what do you expect? He's going to marry a pig?
Yeah, right?
Prince.
I know.
He's the Prince of Wales.
Yeah.
She used to be a briefcase girl on Deal or No Deal.
What's
I thought
that?
you were just
She
going to say
used to be a briefcase girl on
Get
Deal.
the fuck out of here.
This is
now I'm impressed.
big.
What number?
24.
24.
Great number, too.
She is on a scale from 1
When
to
she
10.
would be like this, sorry. Every once in a while, oh, I remember her. I swear to God, I remember her from the show.
No, you
yes,
don't.
I watched every episode of Deal or No Deal.
I love that show.
Yeah.
I love that show.
The banker's not happy.
He just called us.
Yeah.
He's standing up there like a shadow. Dash.
Dish it.
Dish it!
Well, Fashion Police just had their last episode, and Kathy Griffin was not allowed back.
Oh.
Yeah. She wasn't allowed back because they said that she has a monster attitude, and yeah, everyone else was on the show
She's
except
too
her.
cunty. is what they said. She should have came back carrying a fucking Trump head. Hey! She's just running up. Let me tell you something about Fashion Police, okay? That show died when Joan died, okay?
Yep.
That was a big, gigantic show that everybody was nervous what Joan would say about them. And when she was gone, nobody gave a fuck.
Yeah, but isn't that the whole thing about being on Fashion Police? You got to be a monster.
Yeah, they're
I would
supposed
say
to be.
that.
I mean, yeah, you kind of have to
Yeah,
be vicious.
I would agree. I mean, you've got to. No one wants to hear. Oh, she looked fantastic.
Man, that just
Right.
made me think for like Fashion Police. Somebody should make like a handbag or a clutch that looks like the Trump head. That
Oh
she
my
has.
God,
that's a really good idea,
That
right?
is great. Dish it.
Dish it. I'm a designer now.
Why don't we do this? It's a bowling bag that looks like a suit, and then you pull the head out and bowl with it.
Good. That's good.
Yes.
I'm going to go on Shark Tank with that, and they're going to go, "Oh, we're selling this shit." 4 Democrat bowlers? Is that it? The 4 people are Democrats and bowl?
I went to this crazy party on a boat with Duncan Trussell.
Love him.
Great, good buddy of mine. He took me to this boat. There are people hanging from hooks. Crazy.
Oh, I saw that on your Instagram.
Yes, goth music. This band took a Donald Trump, Bushwick, Brooklyn, on a boat. Took a Donald Trump mask. Made a speech about fuck Donald Trump. Threw it in the crowd. Nobody cared. And she goes, "What? You're not going to step on the mask? What? Aren't you angry?" Somebody just stepped on it. She goes, "Good. Fuck Trump." And everyone was like, "We don't care."
Yeah,
Just
that's
play
not
the
really
song."
Yeah, I don't understand what any of this means.
Well, the music producer Timbaland.
Dash.
Dash it.
Dish it!
He's stressing it there. So the music producer Timbaland, he was in Rolling Stone magazine, and he said that he nearly died after taking a nearly fatal dose of Oxycontin. Cotton.
Sounds like-
I was so good.
Oxy.
Dish it!
Oh, let me just say this. It's impossible to OD. I've tried. There is no drug that can kill you. Everyone that they said OD'd has died from natural causes.
Or murder.
Yeah.
We should be looking into this.
Spoken like Keith
Murder, she
Richards.
wrote. So, why do you take all the Oxy? What's his fucking deal?
He said that he started taking painkillers because he had a nerve issue
Yeah, me
from a
too.
gunshot wound
Oh.
as a teenager.
My nerve issue just came from an angry dad. Their family is weird.
Emotionally abusive.
Years of therapy.
Maybe not his real dad.
Why do we know this about Timberland? What are we doing here?
Well, he announced it himself, right?
Yeah,
it's
he
not
did.
like this is like Timberland didn't want anybody to know.
It was email.
Right, Vito?
Yeah.
Vito.
It's
Oh my
Vito.
God.
Has he?
Dad.
Vito overdosed.
Where the fuck is he?
Vito had to deal with a guest coming up soon because they're something wrong with their ID with downstairs in the system.
Because their last name is so crazy.
Yeah.
Christine P. is here. And I don't even know how to pronounce her last name, do you?
Pajitsky.
You know Christine?
Ooh, no, I don't.
No, it's she's fantastic.
Sorry to meet her.
So Seth Meyers and Alec Baldwin.
Whoa! Those two. Coupling up, canoodling.
Oh my
Delicious.
God.
Are they an item now?
They're actually the complete opposite.
They're trans.
They have a private feud going on right now.
Ooh.
Sexual
Turn
feud?
public.
It started back when Seth was on SNL and Alec was a guest host, and the source said that they just didn't click, and Seth has said that he isn't amused by SNL's over-reliance on Alec's Trump sketch to boost the show's profile.
Well, first of all, Seth, it's not your fucking business, all right? You got your own show given to you by Lorne Michaels. Support. Two, you can see that those guys completely different backgrounds, right? You can see, like, Alec is off this Long Island street kid thing, and Seth always feels like that Rhode Island... really, really white, like the kind of white people who would think that we weren't white. And they're out there. They're out there.
I side with Seth.
Yeah. Do you really?
Yeah. I think I agree with this point. I agree with his opinion. And because he's a part of the show, has a history with it, I feel like that makes his point
Seth
valid.
fucking does 45 minutes on Trump every single night. Every night. That show has just turned into a Trump beatdown.
Right.
Yeah. So why don't you focus on your own show, Seth? Since now, is he losing to CBS? I don't know.
I'll check.
I'd like to just hit him with that, but I don't know if I can.
You're losing. Chris, he is losing. Right?
Have you ever met Seth?
Years and years ago. He was incredibly kind.
What is Disco Dan, The Office?
Vito called me and said I had to come in.
Oh, my God.
I can't fit.
Vito, you look a lot better.
Yeah.
He does.
Thanks.
Who are you siding with here? Disco Dan, you can sit in for Dish. Who are you siding with right now?
Garrison Keeler.
That's a sexually abusive. Would it be Seth Meyers or Alec Baldwin?
I don't know what the feud is, but definitely Seth.
Yeah, and also Alec Baldwin's an asshole. He threw shade at Anthony Atamanuik, who is incredibly funny, brilliant, an amazing performer, and he gave him shit because he thinks he's the only one that can do the Trump impersonation. Shut up.
Yeah,
We'll make another Beetlejuice or go get fucked.
Look, one night...
Why not both? Dish it!
Dish it!
One
Spit
night,
roast Baldwin.
we were at a party, and it turned into karaoke time, and he was there, and I sang When a Man Loves a Baldwin. And he... When a man loves a Baldwin. And he just sat and stared at me.
Amazing.
He's such a Baldwin. Dish, such a Baldwin.
He did have a good podcast, though, with interview with Billy Joel.
Yeah, what did he ask him? You like playing Piano Man every night of your life?
Billy Joel was... Dish.
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. Again! The regular crowd shovels in.
I saw Billy
Again.
Joel in 2014 at Citizens Bank Park, and he goes, "Hey, I know I haven't given you much to listen to in the past 25 years, so I'm just going to do the hits." Everyone was like, all right.
Cool. Unbelievable that he can still sell out arenas.
Every night, same songs.
What? Same songs.
You got to be drunk.
It's phenomenal, and people love... I got to go one night to Madison and just see him. Have a New York experience, you know?
Yeah.
I hope he plays Piano Man the night I go. I'll go crazy if he does. Because every night, like he does a show, when it is 9 o'clock on a Saturday, he starts with that. It's 9, the place goes, and he always goes, it's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. Literally. Look at your watch this right.
A Billy Joel alarm clock.
That's fucking seriously. That's so fucking funny. It only goes off once a week. Dish. Oh wait, you're doing it like a Southern guy? Like,
Dish.
Oh man, I like that.
Southern
Dang dish, y'all.
Did you think you were doing that, or you thought you were doing it the way everyone else did?
I thought I was doing it the way everyone else was doing it. Right, everyone's not doing dish.
I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. That's a dish right there.
There's a town I know where the hipsters go called Bedrock. Dish. Where was Disco Dan going? Get Dan back in here. He was joining in, Vito, while you have done nothing but ignored us. What do we got next?
So this is the last dish of the day.
Oh,
fuck! Damn!
Dish up.
But I'm still hungry for dish.
I want a little dish.
What about a dessert dish?
How about just a cheese plate? Dish.
Accoutrement.
You're loving the show, huh?
Give me accoutrement.
I'm loving this show. I love whenever Ian comes on too.
Oh,
Isn't he the
man.
best? Isn't he the
awesome.
rising fucking star?
Yes, absolutely. You're great at the Thanksgiving show too.
Oh, thanks so much,
Didn't
bro.
the
They're
room
so
went
fun.
crazy for him, right? And we
Definitely.
were all looking at each other like, uh-oh, that's a good sign.
Dish.
Fucking show's working!
Dish it, bitch.
That's the subtle thing that we do on stage. A subtle thing we do. Show's working. Yeah. Just as a little, sign to each other.
No, don't get me wrong. They weren't Chipperson exploding. That was more than anybody.
Yeah. Thank God I went early.
Yes. Smart move. Smart move.
Yeah.
All right, last dish of the evening, and then we all have to go home.
So Steph Curry, he
Ooh, I
a
didn't
curry
expect
dish.
Spicy dish.
Yeah, not for me.
Now we can go home. That's chippers in the comments.
He made a 10-year-old kid cry.
Oh boy! I don't want to. I don't want to hear this. We could end up in trouble for this one.
Go on.
So there's a video of him coming out of the tunnel, and this kid is like crying and begging him to sign. It was his birthday, the kid's birthday. He was asking him to sign a T-shirt, and every other Warrior player signed the T-shirt except for Steph, and Steph just like blatantly ignores him, keeps walking.
Which one is Curry?
He's trying to curry his favor right now.
That's him right there in the black beanie.
Did he hear him?
He looks at him and everything.
If this kid's crying over an autograph, get ready
so then
for
the
the
mom
real
got
world,
upset,
pal.
and then she recorded him at the diner.
What
the
an
kid
evil
crying.
mom.
Well, look, let me just point this out. You go to a game, you might get an autograph, but it's not an autograph game.
No.
It's a fucking game of basketball. You don't. Oh, you're not
owed
overthinking.
anything.
You know how many autographs I got at Phillies games? Zero.
Yeah.
Donut. I'd be leaning over.
I love how strong everyone's principles are on this, and I look over at Vito, and you're saying this, and he's giving you that. That's right, Ron.
It's true.
And not only that, this is at Barclays Center. This isn't even at his home court, so he owes these fans nothing.
Yes. Thank you for showing up, Vito.
All right, Vito, you've lost Disco Dan in the fucking dirt with your perfect common sense. When you were at the other place. Now, when Pete Rose played for the Reds, me and my friends were fucking yelling shit at him. Hey, you.
Right.
And what we were saying was a homophobic slur. Hey, you homophobic slur. You take it in the ass, blah, blah, blah. He turns around, and there's still debate whether he gave us the finger or the fist up our ass.
That's great.
We went fucking crazy.
Hell
We were
yeah.
so
That's better than an autograph.
Yeah, we were like,
Yeah.
Pete Rose just fucking looked at us.
Right. That's
Showboat
amazing.
Pete.
That's amazing.
Yeah, back in school, people were like, "You're lying." I go, "Who would fucking lie about that?"
Yeah, right?
That's not even a good thing.
Yeah, you're not coming out on top. I had a shaved head in like 94 at a Phillies game. There was a cancer benefit. They thought I had cancer. They pushed me out onto the field, and I still didn't get an autograph.
Oh my! What?
Yeah.
Who'd you try to get it from, Kruk?
It Oh my God, all of them. I went to Phillies camp and I went to Center Field and grabbed Lane Dykstra's spitting tobacco and put it in my pocket. Nobody sat next to me on the bus.
First of all, do you still have Nails' stuff?
It's hanging up on my wall in my childhood bedroom.
Was 93 the worst year of your fucking life?
Oh, for a lot of reasons.
I think that's
Dish. My dad died. Dish. Phillies lost. Dish.
Which was worse?
Oh man,
It's just so bad they didn't. The sad thing is, they didn't play World Series that year. They just had the fucking championship, and then they go, "We're not even going to go to Canada. Why bother? We're the USA champions.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters."
Yeah, they blew their load in that championship and then went to the World Series of nothing.
Dish. I'm only saying.
Come on, bitch. Let's make this happen.
It's time to dish, bitch.
We got to wrap this up.
Yes.
Do you read?
The Let's Dish segment is brought to you by Dish. Dish listens when no one else does. Dish tuned into you. To learn more and sign up today, call 1-844-CALL-DISH. Go to dish.com or visit a local retailer near you.
If you're like most people, you have no clue to what to get anybody for the holidays. Nest wants to make the holidays easier for you. Right now, buy any Nest product over $99 and get a Google Home Mini for free. That's right. Any Nest product purchase over $99 will get you a Google Home Mini at no extra cost.
Google Home Mini is a voice-activated speaker with the Google Assistant built in. They say it helps you get answers, manage your day, and get hands-free help around the house. You can ask if your flight is on time or add eggnog to your shopping list.
Now, they sent us this. This is the Nest thermostat.
Yes, it is.
What's this do exactly?
That's to let you control your thermostat even when you're not at home.
Oh,
What?
goodness. You have
Crazy.
to. God forbid you come home to a cold house.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this on here, and then I'll control it for Nick DiPaolo at night. Let's just say this. Nick is going to have a very cold winter. Nick DiPaolo, winter is coming. Nest products and Google Assistant work together to control your smart home. So you can say things like, make it warmer, and your Google Assistant will turn up your Nest thermostat. You need to hurry, though, because this offer ends December 31st. Go to Nest.com or visit your nearest Best Buy, Target, or Home Depot. With Nest and a Google Home Mini, the holidays just got a mini bit better.
Welcome back to Bennington. Christina P's in studio.
Yay!
Christina's new special, Mother Inferior, is available now on Netflix. Go to Christina P online for all Christina's dates.
Oh, so nice. Thank you, guys.
We brought you in because we know you love Kim Deal.
More than anything else.
Yeah.
She's my fave.
You know, years ago, the Breeders came in, so I had her and her sister.
Kelly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was, they are... Kelly's like speaks for her. I make sure she's cool. You know what I mean? Like, you got everything you want, Kim. And I think, you know what? I even think the Breeders were touring. The Pixies were touring, and Kelly was going with her just to make sure that those fucking Pixies didn't start any of their shit.
Their usual shit.
Yeah.
Well, they're identical twins.
Yeah.
So they're a bonded pair. As
They
say
look
in the-
alike, they talk alike, at times they even... By the way, congratulations to you for a great year.
Yeah,
And-
thanks. Great special.
Yes, you've gone past Tom Segura like a shot.
No, not
Just
even.
Boom, left him in your rearview mirror.
That's the goal, right? In a marriage.
Are you guys going to get divorced?
Yes, competitive. Every marriage.
That's right. That's the key to a successful marriage in
Yes.
showbiz is you have to compete and compare.
Right.
Yeah, so that's good. No, he's way more successful than me. I think that's why the marriage is still good. You know
He's
what I mean?
way more successful than everyone. He is just passing people like. And here's the thing about Tom is, why does he have to make it look easy? Why can you at least look like you're trying, dude?
It's the worst.
Yeah.
He just sold out the Wiltern Theater in
Crazy.
LA on Saturday night, and I got to do like a spot before he went on.
Yeah.
He sold, so that's 1,900 tickets.
Unbelievable.
And I go out there and my heart skipped a beat because I'm not performing in front of 1,900 people sold out. And I was like, how are you this normal? Like, how is this just okay for you? Because he's like, whatever. Like, it doesn't even affect him at all. Like, he's still the same old G. So I guess that's good.
I do think that when you get that big a room, you got to move around a little bit. Show some kind of, like, hey y'all, there's something
going high, low.
Yeah.
What are you inferring that he's not very high energy?
I don't see him moving. There was one special. I'm like, is Tom okay? Is he hurt?
He just plants.
Yeah, he just plants and
Puts
he does his thing, man. But it's funny as shit.
He really is. And you know what's annoying about him too is that we started at the same time. He was never a crappy open micer. Like, my husband was funny from the minute he started, which is even more annoying.
Well, there are people that are kind of funny kids, and then they're funny teenagers, and then they're funny adults. And then they just have to go, how do you package this into show business? Because it's a little bit tricky to be the same kind of funny that you can be with your family or with your friends. But there are those people. You know, there are those people. But it's odd how many people aren't those people and go into comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You mean unfunny people?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had a club and people would die on an open mic. Die. And they came over to the bar where I was sitting and trying to forget about my problems. And they would say, after they just died for 5 minutes, they go, well? And I go, well, what? What do you think? I go, you heard the nothingness. You don't want me to say this. You don't want to hear what I think.
Yeah. Why do you want to continue the rejection?
Well, and I'd said to people, I go, well, do your friends think you're funny? Do you make people laugh? And they go, well, I love it. And I go, well, what? What do you think? I go, you heard the nothingness. You don't want me to say this. You don't want to hear what I think.
Yeah. Why do you want to continue the rejection?
Well, and I'd said to people, I go, well, do your friends think you're funny? Do you make people laugh? And they go, well, I love comedy. I go, that's different. I love professional football.
Sure.
I wouldn't go walking out there.
I love outer space. I'm never going to get to go there.
You should, though.
And I hear it is lovely.
Well, I'll tell you this, and I know as a new parent, this will be important to you. Mars ain't the kind of place to raise your kids.
Is that right?
In fact, it's cold as hell. Vito, why aren't you running to get Rocket Man? And this is a perfect way of bringing that song up as I'm finishing the lyric. It's too late now. You'll never see in a movie the actor will look over. Where's the music?
Make it romantic.
Bring it up.
Moment.
Yeah. Gail, did you ever try stand up?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did open mics years ago, and I just didn't stick with it. But I was having a lot of fun. I think I had like a kind of a shift because then I was writing at the time, so I stopped because I focused on writing a play, and then I just kind of didn't hop back into it.
Well, I think it's fantastic that you didn't stick to it because I think it means you had a good childhood. Because the amount of suffering that goes into being a comic, don't do it. It means you have a healthy sense of self and self-worth.
Do you think all comics bad childhood though? Do you really believe that?
No, because my husband did not have a bad childhood. I think it's a great recipe. I think it tends to lend itself to making better comedians.
Mm-hmm.
The ones I like, I should say. I should practice that. I think Tom's funny, that being said, but like I don't relate to the comic that's not talking about the darker side of the force. You know what I mean? Like I don't give a shit about cookies and dogs, who cares? Let's talk about real stuff.
Gilbert, when he did this, why people wearing shoes? That was one of my favorite. What's with shoes? But you don't. An observational comedian isn't going to make it for you. You want somebody to spill a little bit of blood out there.
Yeah. Talk about your dick and your balls and your sad stuff. I don't really trust comedians that aren't a little dark-sided.
Right.
Because if you look at Cosby, and the hip and then look what he was up to.
And you know what? Here's what it would have been great. He could have been doing that as material. I can't stop. Knock him out before I can book them. They got to be knocked out. They book them. And everybody went, wow, fuck Pryor. This guy is doing all new shit.
And then we wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah.
We would have
That's
been like,
right.
well, yeah, he's been talking about it for years, so
Well,
that makes sense.
That's right. And even with Louis, like who I love and who I think is like just a genius, and it's so sad what's happening. But you kind of went, okay, yeah, I can see that, because it wasn't this total lie on stage. You're like, yeah, he might do that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's true.
Crazy.
Well, I was just talking about this, well, Gail, you were the one who pointed out that you didn't, when you were younger, like, how does Norton have that black T-shirt New Jersey audience? And she was like, these guys are the exact opposite of Norton's material, and they love him.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't know what that means.
Well, the black T, he has had
Like-
guys, you know, like heavy metal
bald,
guys,
yeah,
you know,
like-
Ozzy fans.
Yeah.
And then he would be doing his Norton material, and they'd be going crazy.
Yeah.
And I think there was an honesty in him.
Yeah, it really surprised me that like an audience that didn't look like they would be open to that kind of stuff,
Right.
even as a joke, were like that. But I guess Pryor was like that too. I mean, Pryor
was like, yeah, suck a dick one time. You know what
yeah,
I mean? It was
I'm like,
great.
that's kind of weird that he was able to pull that off.
Yeah, but
You
I
know?
think isn't it honesty that resonates with people, and like the raw, I don't know, for me it is. I'm drawn to that stuff. When people say the unsayable or the you're not supposed to say that stuff, I always love that.
I've never had an honest moment in my life, so I don't even know what that's like. Everything is a mask.
Yeah.
That's it. I hide behind that mask.
How's that going?
Great. Great. I only got, I think a couple more decades and I could die and win.
Yeah.
Tops. Maybe a decade and a half and I get to go, all right, beat you. Beat the fucking system. Chris, you're not doing plugs anymore?
I apologize. Christina P's in studio. Christina's new special, Mother Inferior, is available now on Netflix. For all of Christina's dates, go to ChristinaPOnline.com. And the Your Mom's House podcast, that's available on iTunes and YourMom'sHousePodcast.com.
And you got a new podcast, too, right?
Yeah, I do a podcast called That's Deep Bro, because I have a degree in philosophy, which is like so useless.
Yeah.
And I thought, why not it's like a passion project, and I talk about ideas that I like. And because philosophy is so great, but it's so useless because the language it's written in is too challenging for anyone to sit down and figure it out. But the ideas are really valuable and useful.
If it was up to me, the only thing that we would ever talk about is existence and purpose. And every time you you just see people leaning away from you, you know, and I'll be doing that. We're going to die. I'll die. You'll die. Everybody. Everyone's and they're going, don't.
Do you ever feel like you have a connection with somebody and then you start to talk about something like that where you're like, this is a philosophy that I have, or something that you find scary about life, and then you see them start to pull away and you're like, oh,
my whole life.
I thought that we could have a talk, and they're just like, okay, that's weird. And you're like, oh, I thought we were going to be friends, and now I can see we're not.
Yeah, I mean, like I think about my death once a day.
Yeah.
I'll be like, oh God, all of this is meaningless. But then I can go, oh, look at that Christmas tree, isn't that nice? And
it's stunning.
I like dogs. Dogs are great.
Isn't it stunning? Like, I'll just sit around and think this. There is something, a physical thing exists.
Yeah.
Instead of nothing. That's mind-blowing to me.
That's weird enough for just the fact that things exist. Anything exists. That's already too weird to wrap your...
Or New York City. I mean, look, I grew up in LA, and this city blows my mind. Just the intricacy of this. How does anybody get anywhere? But it's chaos that's somehow organized, and there's so many people living in such a tight area. It's miraculous.
Here's the amazing thing in New York is sometimes you'll see them dig up the street and pull out wires, and there's just so many. There's how they keep this place lit up. There's water running up.
Yeah.
Up in the air. I still don't even know. Yes, there's trains that go under rivers.
And there's abandoned ones.
There's planes that fly into buildings.
Yeah,
but that I wish there wasn't. But yeah, that's not our best thing.
But at the same time, there's like watersheds on top of buildings.
I know.
And you're like, wait, why is that? That's like from the 1800s.
Yeah.
Everything down here is amazing.
What's cool is
why are we doing that?
Sometimes there'll be people just living in there too. People just get up there and just say, "This is my apartment."
Well, that's another thought I have is like you can just get snatched up in this city, man.
Oh yeah,
like some dude can just take you and
But here's what's weird. For us, like, we're like, if you're out 3 o'clock in the morning and there's no people in the street, you're like, what the fuck? Where the fuck? You know what I mean? This isn't safe. There's no one here. Where if you're in the country, you see a person, you're like freaked out.
Yeah.
Here it's the exact, and like when we go to the like New England and stuff in the summer, I'm like, can't fucking sleep.
Yeah, it feels really
like this.
And
it takes
then, like,
a couple days to get into it.
It's like the creepiest thing for me. Yeah, it takes me a little while, but always at first, I'm like, the thought that you can hear a house creak is really fucking scary to me. You're like, what do you mean it's the house? Why would the house make noise? Like, that's so creepy, but it's just like settling. And then you hear something in a bush outside. You're like, what the fuck? That's really scary.
I've been like in a beautiful cabin at night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, just walking around quiet with a knife.
That's the creek. That's the creek you're talking about.
It's your dad jabbing in your room.
Just making sure everyone's safe.
You love this kind of thinking since you were a kid, right? Why do you think it's such a turnoff to people?
So dark. I think, okay, look, my parents are Hungarian immigrants that escaped from communist Hungary in 1969. And we went to Italy in a camp for a year, and then we went to Canada. Like, I grew up with this very dark existential sort of, hey, guess what? Your life can end like that, man. You know, the Russians come in, your neighbor gets taken away in the middle of the night. So I grew up in an environment like that. Like, this is all temporary, guys. And I think America, you know, for whatever reason, we don't want to think about that stuff. It's a bummer. We want to just have the TVs and the new iPhone, and it's just not a cultural thing. We're in denial, right? You can buy something that's going to keep you 100 years old, keep you to live until you're that old. The whole culture is based on not dying.
Yeah.
If you exercise, no, you're not. You know,
I'm still going to die.
You still fucking die. You're still going to get old and wrinkly. You know, no matter what chemical peel you do, or, you know.
Yeah, we just add the worst. We add the worst years to our lives. You know what I mean? You're not even it's like you're not staying 30 longer. You're staying 80 into 90, and you're just like,
yeah. Why do you want to be 90, 8 years old? Who cares? I don't want to do that.
My dad's 90, and it's very fucking hard. Yeah. It's very hard. It's hard for him to say, he can't do the things that he did before, you know? And he'll tell me, he's like, I wish I could, and I don't have an answer for him. And he's like, I know, dude. I told you not to quit smoking.
Yeah, why quit now?
Yeah.
Did he quit?
Yeah, he quit. Well, he quit years ago, but he should start it back up now.
I think that once you hit an age, like a certain age, you're like, you beat it, you could go back to it.
Yeah,
I think so.
Now you remember that with me, okay? Give me the age, and I'm going to start using again.
Okay.
Because, by the way, the conversations...
It's only applied to cigarettes. Hold on.
No, it's everything. But the conversations that we're having now is why I did coke when I was younger. Because people are willing to talk about these things when you're doing coke.
Yeah.
Or drunk.
Until the coke runs out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but drunk, you got people slurring.
Right. And I'll say the same
coke,
thing
people
about...
are really paying attention.
Right. And you're like, yeah, man. Totally.
Dude, you're fucking right, man.
Yeah.
The Aztecs knew.
I agree. That kind of talk, and definitely... like pot talk does not count in that at all.
It's too stupid.
Because like that's shit you wouldn't even think of, and it's not good.
I think too, Americans haven't really had death up close. Like we had 9/11, that was horrific, and that was a changer. But I think it's different when you grow up in a country that people die a lot and there's death.
And we also send our sick and our dying away. Like our sick and our dying die in hospitals typically.
Yeah,
and so. And
we outsource our dying.
And we don't do, obviously some people keep their family members at home, but not as compared to other countries.
Oh, that's horrible. Don't ever do that, though.
You don't think so?
My stepdad just died in front of his children, and they were like, it was the worst thing. I'm so traumatized.
How old are they, though?
They're like my age, like 40.
You know what?
Yeah.
I've had it happen a couple of times. Loved it. Loved it.
Like a party, right?
Yeah, and a very good friend of mine died. I was holding on to her mom at the time, and it was mind-blowing to me because a second later I looked at her, and it was like she left her coat behind. Like that body wasn't her. Everything that it was about her was just gone. And up into the right part of the room, I don't know why, but I felt that energy just move up. Don't know what it means. Don't have any idea about it. But that feeling of, that's not her.
Yeah.
She's gone. That body looked like a jacket she left. Mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, I also like the other end of it, which is like, that's why you enjoy. That's why this is all an illusion, dude. This is a game. Like, this is bullshit. When I find myself getting wrapped up in the dramas, that's why I like being this dark. Because then I go, oh, but who cares? What am I upset about? My plane's late. Okay, that's hilarious.
But do you have a sense of gratitude? Do you feel like, and I think that's the only thing to fucking balance us. And the other stuff, most of the other stuff is mental illness. Like most of the shit that we're hearing about now, instead of being so angry and judgmental, I feel like, hey, that's mental illness. How do we handle this? We're all hiding our mental illness from each other.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about watching someone die, you kind of, each one of my victims, I'll just slowly watch, and I take it
so hard.
I take a trophy from them. You know what I mean? Because I feel like it's part of them.
Trophy?
Yeah, physical trophy, and I keep it where when the detectives come, it'll be very easy to arrest me because of all the little trophies I've kept.
Yeah.
If you could just get past that, I feel like you'd have a longer career.
Not going to.
As a killer.
I can't imagine, I guess, I don't know what it must be like to kill a person.
It's got to feel like
I wouldn't want to.
Yeah, but it just feels like because I have had dreams when that I've killed somebody, and I'll go like this in my dream. Holy shit, I just fucked up. Now my whole life is
like
you know
immediate regret.
Like immediate regret.
Yeah, that's got to be the normal reaction.
But you know what? The thing is, like, no matter who annoys you, you're like, they'll be dead within a few decades. They're going to fucking die.
That's what I think. Or just they're going to age, and that's going to be bad enough.
Right. You're going to get a disease. That's what we should yell at each other when we're in traffic. You're going to get a disease one day, and all your internal organs will shut down. It's going to happen.
And in that moment, I'll have peace, and I won't even know why.
Yes, exactly.
I just feel happy today. Why?
Are you afraid of death, or do you think death is?
I mean, I'd be lying if I weren't.
Yeah.
I feel like who isn't? I don't know. Maybe the Buddhist monks aren't because they're. I don't know.
I think I'm more afraid of dying than death.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The process
going through it.
Yeah, that thing doesn't seem nice.
No, I don't want that.
Birth and death. I mean, we really made it hard on ourselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it just seems like both of them not easy. No. They seem like very difficult.
No. Easier on men, both. Or easier on men.
You guys.
Yeah.
Oh, boo-hoo. I know. How to ejaculate.
It's not easy standing there going like this. I've just clocked this, and you're 40 seconds in between gigantic pains.
Yeah, I had to tell my husband when I was in labor, put the burrito down, because he was eating in my delivery room.
Dude, when Gail was born, I was fucking starving. And I was just thinking to myself, so then when her brother was born, I had a bunch of fucking like bars and stuff in my pockets. Yeah, and I'd just be like this. Like I even started eating them too quick. Like I'm fucking about 10 minutes in. Yeah.
Oh, you're supposed to save those.
Yeah.
You're gonna ration that out.
Yeah. But in the same way of like, do you feel like your kid was born with a personality like immediately or?
Well, he's on 2. He's going to be 2 soon.
Yeah.
And yes, and I see it now as a newborn, even his movements and his demeanor. And then by 2, you see it like, oh, I got you, dude.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing. This is awesome. Like
when Gail was born, same person she is now.
Yeah.
Same. Me and her mom have zero effect on her personality. Nothing.
So you think it's all nature?
I think, and I don't know if it's nature. I think it might be a higher thing than that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I think nature would mean it's just DNA, and I think it's different. But I think that there's something that we tap into. I wouldn't even call it a name, but you know that from being funny. You know that from having a line that you could do so fast in front of a crowd, faster than you could if I gave you 2 days to write a fucking comeback.
Yeah.
No.
Right.
There's something that, we tap into.
Yeah.
And I think that's connected with the whole mission, life and death.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I know certainly my little cousin, like when she was born, just her personality was so different than her parents that I was like, I don't like right away. I started to go like, wow, this is weird. Like she's like kind of her own person when she was born. Like she immediately had a personality.
I know. So with kids.
Yeah. And I thought that was really strange because I was like, well, she doesn't get this from anyone. No one's teaching her to be like this or act like this. No one in her life has this personality. This is just her. It's pretty strange.
It is weird. It is really weird. And then what do? We try to force them to do something else.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like immediately we're trying to say, here's what we want you to do. So you can make money.
Oh, God, I know. Well, how depressing is that? Yeah.
You want money, don't you?
Yeah, you gotta do it. Yeah, I know. Most important. Yeah, my parents hated my ambitions to be a comedian. They were immigrants. So my mother wanted me to go to beauty school. Yeah. Why don't you become a cosmetologist? You can work forever. I'm like, I don't know. It's just not in the stars for me, you know?
Yeah.
Just go be a doctor, lawyer, you know.
But just, by the way, when you're talking about the horrible things they lived through, just think how different your life would have been if it was peaceful there. You know what I mean? You'd be a totally different fucking person.
I'd be the most boring.
Yeah.
I know.
You're like, thank God for all that horribleness.
For a little complication. Yeah. I agree. I mean, at the end of the day, it's good to be who you are. I'm just used to it. But then again, I don't know. I take it back. I kind of wish in high school, like I was a dark goth, brooding, smoking cigarette. I always wanted to be the cheerleader, the girl who was just like, whatever, let's party. I just want to get drunk. Boyfriend. And, part of me wishes kind of that's who I could be too. But I don't know.
Dumb and pretty has got to be the best fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about anything. You know what I mean? You're just like, it's the whole reason we do parties is to try to get to that weird, dumb, easy place.
I always find it interesting when you meet someone who's attractive. They've been attractive their whole life, and then they can say that. Like they're so comfortable.
What do you mean?
Like as a pretty girl.
Yeah, like since I was always been pretty. And you're like, whoa, what would that be like to say a sentence like that? Like I had a friend who, she has a twin sister, but they're fraternal twins. And she's like, yeah, she goes to a really smart school. She's the smart one. I'm the pretty one. And I remember being like, oh my God.
You horrible person.
Whoa. That like I judged her, but then immediately went like, well, what would that even be like? Like, imagine you're just like, it's just a fact. I'm super pretty. Isn't like got to be a really weird, like that's got to make you a weird person.
It's absurd.
You've got to be you can't be normal.
No.
If you've been told you're attractive your whole life, and then you're able to just say it like as though you could just rattle off your eye color or like your social security number, and I'm also super hot. You know what I mean?
Well,
like
I'm always mystified by people that just have a really like they just think they're bitching. Like, who are these people that just have parents that were like, you're awesome? Yeah. Like anybody on social media who's like, oh my God, look at me. Who are you? Why do you like your, like, I barely have
you can put up with yourself.
Yeah. Right.
Now, have you ever met somebody who was like stunningly beautiful? Like, who was it for you?
When I was 12 years old at Club Med, I was playing with this French girl. I'll never forget. And that's when I realized there were like two kinds of girls. You know what I mean? Like, there's like, you're attractive and then you're gorgeous. And this girl was like, gorgeous at 12, and I remember thinking like, yeah, that's the difference here. There's just those people that are so good.
And by the way, that's a hard life too, because when you're 12 and men are like, oh boy.
Ugh,
that's you know. And who was the young actor? As a matter of fact, she just did Louis' movie,
Chloe Grace Moretz.
She told me when she was on this show, she goes, she remembered the day when men just started to go.
Flemmy cough.
Yeah,
that was really,
he shouldn't be in this room.
This is really
but sorry,
yeah, we're
saying.
all trying to feel well here. But when she said, I remember the day that men just started to look at me like, and she said she was like a little girl, and she said it was terrifying. It was like having wolves
like
around.
Weird transition.
Who's the prettiest person you ever saw, Gail?
Oh God, it's really tricky because I'm sure it must have been. Well, you know what, Bo Derek when she came in here, even now, I thought, Jesus, like
she must be
stunningly beautiful person. And it's not even, and I think also because she's older now that you can just look at it so objectively, like, oh, like you're just built like a pretty person, like your whole head is pretty
and your body's perfect.
Yeah. You're like, oh, okay, that's weird.
Like a face I get, but then when the body's perfect.
Yeah, when the body's just you're like fucking unbelievable. She
Yeah.
was. She was like when the whole world just went, holy shit.
Yeah.
She's fuckable. The whole world was like,
Yes.
oh my God.
Everybody went. And this is in like the 70s before plastic surgery.
Yes,
So,
she was just naturally
you couldn't
Swedish,
cheat.
kind of beautiful.
Yeah, you didn't have implants or veneers. Like, God damn.
I remember when I started radio, so it would have been like around 87 or something. We were playing softball against Motley Crue, and Heather Locklear was fucking with them. And I just went, this isn't even comfortable sitting next to her. This is like, I felt like a diabetic rush of beauty.
Like
it was like
saccharin.
if you just took a snow shovel of sugar and poured it down your throat. I was like, I don't even think I want to be around her. And then I thought about it for years. And then the thing is, I turned around and looked at Tommy Lee, and he's just fucking tatted up and greasy hair, you know.
Just AIDS.
And you're just like, what the, yes, it was like an, and you're just like, what the fuck? Is that drumming? That's what the beauty wants, a drummer?
Scumbag, yeah.
But she was stunningly beautiful. That
so
you could never
upsetting.
get from a movie, or like watching a movie TV. You're like, oh, she's really pretty. But in real life, it was like staring into the sun.
Yeah. But that's why those people, in a sense, you know, I think growing up I had animosity towards models and stuff. Like, what is this bit, these dummies? It's like, yeah, but that's your currency. Like that's the blessing you were given, is to be hot. Yeah. Go ahead, dude, make your living.
I mean, you'd be crazy not to, right?
Yeah.
You'd be a lunatic not to. Everyone always says, go with your talent and find that thing that you love. And it's me in front of a camera. That's what I love. I love a camera looking at me. Look, watch, I'm turning my head. See?
Because if you were an athlete, if you were like an exceptional athlete,
that's right.
everyone would be saying to you, "Are you crazy? What are you going to go into accounting? Like, follow this. Like, you have an exceptional talent." But you're right. We look at particular women who are beautiful. We are like, oh, like like as though she's been handed something.
Yes.
But we don't see that with athletes or
right. And also modeling. I mean, it doesn't look like a great gig to me.
No, it looks difficult
Fucking
and terrible. Well, isn't the worst thing you ever done is 8x10s? He's like, hurry, that's it, you got it. You just yell at the guy that you're paying. You got it.
I hate it. I just took pictures before this at AOL, and I wanted to blow my brains out.
Yeah.
I'm like, please don't. I don't know how to fucking do this. Don't take pictures of me. Like,
every picture I take, it looks the same for fucking just me staring like an Amish person.
I can't believe at this age I've still not figured out how to take a picture. Someone is like, "Oh, can we quick take a picture?" And I'm like, "Fuck, what do I do?" Like I start moving my head weird. I don't know what to do with my teeth.
Well, because there are things you do. Like I've seen celebrities do things like jut your neck out. And that makes your face look less fat. And then you do the 3/4 turn. Like watch Paris Hilton or any of these celebutante whatevers. They're schooled in it. Watch how Kim Kardashian takes a photo. That is deliberate posing. And they're all taught how to do that. That's why they look awesome.
Angle, and they know exactly what to do with their head.
Like, does anybody here know what their good side is? I've heard people say that, but I don't even know what it means.
Here's the
Front
thing.
side?
I never know what I never know
least fat,
what
less phlegm.
my good side is, but I do know when I get my bad side. I was like, fuck, that is okay. I'm gonna remember that next time, because everyone does have. It's weird, but you do have, like, I have one side of my face that's much fatter than the other side, and like I think that
you
do I have a
you're
freckle
adorable.
here or here?
That side.
Okay, so
it's
this
adorable.
I think is my thinner side, and if I like, and like I default to my right, and it's always like big old head. And,
here's my fat side.
Check out my fat side.
And like if I turn on the other side, it's me. Hi.
That's true.
So
Two-Face. What is it, Chris? What do you want to do?
I want to let everyone know Christina P's in studio, and her new special, Mother Inferior, is available now on Netflix. And for all of Christina's dates, go to ChristinaPOnline.com. And her new podcast, That's Deep Bro, is available on iTunes, and That's DeepBroPodcast.com.
Thank you.
When you were out doing your special, and since you've worked so long to get to this point, were you like, this is a surreal, this is actually the special? You know what I mean? Like,
actually, no. I was more like, Jesus fuck, finally. Because I had a management team before that was promising it to me, and it was in the ethers for so long, and it, for whatever reason, didn't come together. So part of me was like, I'm ready, bro. Like, I shot it, and the first take was fantastic. Like, I got it, and my agent was like, Like, I just went back in the green room and I was like, anyway, is there sandwiches here? And he's like, you just shot a special. Aren't you stoked? And I was like, yeah, but I've also been doing this for too long. Like, this was to me a little bit overdue. I was ready. I was ready to do it.
Patrice O'Neill, who, by the way, I think it was 6 years ago he passed away, he said something to me I'll never forget. He goes, everything in show business, they either give you too soon or too late. And I'm like, that's the best thing that I've ever heard. You're either not ready for it, or like, I should have been doing this years ago, so you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and that's honestly where I wanted to be. A little older, a little uglier, a little more. Look, when you're a hot 20-something-year-old female comic, nobody wants to hear what you got to say.
Right.
But when you're a little weathered, and you know what I mean, when you've been scowling a little longer, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Now I'm a mother. People listen to mothers. Yes.
So you're enjoying the whole ride. Yeah.
I love it. I love being this age. I love having a voice at this age. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and also personally, like, I don't like anybody under 40 doing comedy.
There's no, especially when they're really young kids. They're just like, my dad's an idiot. People in the audience are always like, what? Your dad's alive?
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't get a date. Yeah, you can. You're a woman. Just show your tits on the street. What are you talking about?
You could blow someone tonight in a bar if you wanted to.
Yeah. What is
Not even leave the bar.
Yeah. What problems getting laid as a woman? Okay.
So that is the great thing about stand-up, is that you could do it at any age, but you really don't age out. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Somebody was bringing up to me about Dave Attell, and I'm like, well, he's doing his best work now. You know what I mean? Like, they might have given him all the MTV shows he wanted or whatever before, but he's unbelievable right now. And I remember when he was hilarious, but this is totally different. Where Colin Quinn is unbelievable right now.
His tweets are hilarious.
I know.
His tweets are, I told him it's a book. Those tweets, I'll just sit and read sometimes like I bought a fucking joke book in the 1980s.
Years ago, I actually signed up for Twitter because someone showed me a Colin Quinn tweet.
Yeah.
And I was like, so you just see what Colin Quinn says all the time? I'm going to sign up.
Yeah.
I literally just did it to follow Colin Quinn.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I liked Phyllis Diller growing up.
Yeah.
Because she was the archetypal mom, and she was old and cracked, and
she was great,
made all these jokes about it, and yeah.
Well, I will tell you this too, and I was just talking about with Norton with this today, and he agreed. A week before she died, Joan Rivers was as good as anyone who's ever done this. And she was old as hell, and she was amazing.
I know. I got to see her. I got to see her like right before she died, and I was up high, and she had those big cue cards on the stage.
Did she really?
Yeah, so she knew where she was going, and her,
But I fucking love that though.
And she was saying shit that younger people were afraid to say.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Brutal. Her last book that she wrote was fucking vicious. Vicious. And she loved it. She loved that thing. And she really loved fucking show business so much. But I didn't even get to meet her until her 80s, and she would come in and do the show. And I remember the first time that I said to her, I go, are you writing every day? And she's like, yeah, I do it. And I'm like, is there a time? She goes, no, wherever. And she opens up her purse and just starts bringing out little pieces of paper. You see, some of it was from a hotel, but other stuff was just on the back of something. And there were just gags that she would write during the day.
Crazy.
In her fucking 80s. And she would go, well, here, let's try some of these. And she read them to me while I sat there. And it was fucking ready to go up. It was ready to go up.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And that's what keeps you sharp, and that's why you can do this until you're, something. Yeah.
Yeah, because she wanted it. She also would never let anybody call her an icon or a legend.
Yes.
Because and her worst thing is, like, if someone said, what do you think of Amy Schumer? You know what I mean? Like, she didn't want to hear about the young.
Yeah.
Why would I think about Amy Schumer? I'm thinking about Joan Rivers.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about the next me. I'm me. So she stayed competitive. Not that she wasn't very friendly and great to comics, but she would want to have a better special than you. You know what I mean? Like,
which she should, and she did.
Yeah,
that's the crazy thing. Is she was hilarious. She was so good.
Yeah,
and classy. I got to meet her after the show, and she took a picture with me. And whatever douchebag comedian I am. just classy. And she was strong. Her arms were so strong.
Yeah, she was very, very
worked
strong.
out.
But she would love that. I guarantee you, she loved that a comedian came and said, "Oh, I want to come back," and you know what I mean. Like that was a thing for her. She loved comedians. Yeah, she loved.
So do I, though.
Yeah,
I think, and I love. I mean, we just had Thanksgiving. And it was all comics. Just
That's
because,
great.
it's my tribe. Like I feel like I finally found the group of derelicts who get it. And I never fit in anywhere before I became a comic. And
now look at you building a whole life around it, though. It's fantastic.
I know, it's so scary. Like,
Chris, are you giving me the wrap up sign?
Yeah, we're ending.
Oh,
you're killing me,
I don't want to kill you.
Why are you doing this to us, Chris?
You're killing us. We love Christina.
I know, because Christina P's in studio. Her new special, Mother Inferior, is available now on Netflix. All Christina's dates. Go to ChristinaPOnline.com.
My gates.
Yeah.
Your gates. What are you saying gates
You're
for,
selling
Chris?
gates?
My gay dates.
Why are you trying to look like Willem Dafoe in a submarine movie that he did with Wes Anderson? Doesn't he?
Yeah. Life Aquatic.
Yeah. Why are you doing this?
I think it's a good look. And That's Deep Row Podcast is available now on iTunes, and That's Deep Row Podcast.
Take it from the top.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Do it right. Don't say gates this time.
I won't. I promise
That
I
part
won't.
was so
I'm going
embarrassing.
to say dates.
Hold on. No, don't even say appearance. Say appearances. That way it won't be stuck in your mind.
Okay. All right. Christina P's
Easy, man. You don't want to rush into it.
Right.
Just take your time like a person.
Okay.
You've heard people talk, right?
I have.
Do that.
Yes. Okay. All right. Christina P's been in the studio. Christina's new special, Mother Inferior, is available now on Netflix. And for all of Christina's appearances, go to ChristinaPOnline.com. And her new podcast, That's Deep Bro, that's available now on iTunes, and that's deepbropodcast.com.
But it was good. But at one point you said frawl.
Oh, no.
Frawl.
Frawl her dates.
Frawl her appearances. We love you. Seriously.
Thank you for
you
having
so
me.
much.
That was so great.
I hate that you're on the West Coast.
I know.
Because I know that you hate New York and you know.
I hate snow.
Yeah.
I don't hate New York.
Well, look at it today. It's 60.
Gorgeous.
Okay? It's going to be, global warming has helped us
I know.
in a way
It's a
that,
good thing.
it's burning you up, but it's making us comfortable.
I'm so glad we can help you.
All right. That's it for us. We'll see you again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!